Zip. OG's on Chrome, West Coast edition. Hosted by Fast Harleys Only, Big Sale. Motorcycle Entertainment Television takes you full throttle through the streets of Oakland, Compton, the Bay. Zip. OG's on Chrome, West Coast edition. Hosted by Fast Harleys Only, Big Sale. Motorcycle Entertainment Television takes you full throttle through the streets of Oakland, Compton, the Bay, and much, much more. With OGs like Big Punchy, Gorilla Blue, Big Rob, and Miss Showtime. Roll with us as we take you back to the origin of some of West Coast's hottest clubs and OGs. From the history to the future of these OGs. Presented by Raven Dixie Incorporated. Only on MotorcycleEntertainmentTelevision.com. Available on.
Want to do something different for the love of your life? More lavish, more romance, more style. Let me tell you how to treat your lover.
Your body down, relax your mind. Let me take away the pain you feel inside. Let your stress and your worries, let them melt away. While I massage your shoulders and your legs, focus on your pace. Hide away your magic, so much power in these hands. Let me be your distraction with this massage experience. And girl, just like you're on my table, and get comfortable, and let me take you to my world. I'll take my time, take my time. Cloud nine, let me take you to heaven with my hands, baby.
The massage therapist, Dominique, the master of touch.
You're now rocking with DJ.
They're not around. It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. DJ Skinny. They not around. Let's go. Who that? Who that? Who that? Respect the DJ.
Slippin' Slide DJ.
It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. Man, they not around here. I think it's an invasion.
Greetings, Earthlings. This is my introduction. They say greatness doesn't come overnight, so I'm not rushing. Spaced out swag, best believe I'm paper touching. Super stupid flow, and you bitches can't tell them nothing. UFO, uniquely flying, outstanding. All I speak is cash, I see why you don't understand. UFO, uniquely strictly flying outstanding. All I speak is cash, I see why you don't understand me. Got a sense for drama, so I always keep the cannon. This is the invasion, so watch out for our landing. Standing tall, never too far. Spring and summer fashion, bro, I get it in the fall. Y'all about to start hating, and I don't mind at all. I'm a thriller like MJ, and my flow is off the wall.
Who they? They're not from around. It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. They not from around here. I think it's an invasion. Who they? They're not from around. It's gotta be my imagination.
And we live, baby. Hey, motherfuckers. Welcome to the WhoDat podcast, the livest podcast this side of the Mississippi and the Nile River. That means everywhere. How you doing? You made it another week. You didn't die. Congratulations. This is B. As always, we have Paco. I'm sitting next to this nigga today.
Oh, what's up? What's up, y'all?
Yo, and it's obviously a special occasion. This is the finale of the culture series that we've been doing, and you need to go back and just look at it all so you can catch up. We'll do a quick recap, but this is the ultimate finale. So we have some spectacular people here. I don't know why I'm just looking up like this the whole time, but we have some spectacular people here, and let me introduce them to you. We have Mr. Jeremy Miller, who was at the 100 Black Men. Shout out to 100 Black Men Unity meetup that we had during Juneteenth weekend. We have Mr. Raphael Randolph, who put together the 1% Economic Summit that was down in Pulaski and during Black History Month. And we have Mr. Jonathan Mostella, who was also at the 100 Black Man meetup and just an awesome guy. This guy is just like this guy.
What you see?
But so we got a lot of feedback over the culture series, and just from the conversations we were having on the episodes themselves, and the talk that we saw from the viewers. A lot of it always came back to the home and the male role, whether it be father, whether it be the son, whether it be the role that they got only having a one parent household, whatever. It always came back to somehow the household, the family unit, but on the male. So we got a bunch of males together who are you are looking at your future of black leaders, of black male figures. You know what I'm saying? So we figured that this would be the best way to finish it off, constructing the future, going into the solutions, realistic solutions in this world that we're facing today. You know what I mean? But before we get into all of that, how y'all doing? How you week? Y'all good?
Bro.
Good. Everybody feeling good?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Man, thank y'all for coming.
Glad I'm off the
Appreciate
ball.
y'all.
Praise God.
Man, yo, bro. Y'all celebrate the 4th? Celebrate the 4th?
I don't.
I like fireworks, man, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just there for good time and food. You know what I'm saying?
I like to blow stuff up.
Look, I celebrate any day where I get the day off and I ain't got to worry about hearing nobody's mouth.
That's it.
I got some
If
gator
the bank is
cooking
closed,
tomorrow.
some gator?
Yeah, I got some gator. I found a new gator plug in Hermitage.
You gotta let me know where you got
Gator plug.
I got you. I'll shoot
I got
that
a
to you.
gator plug. Wow.
Yeah.
some gator bites y'all missing out. Yeah.
Oh
Nah, I
man,
had
I
gator
had some
bites
of those
before.
on Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Shit's is fire.
You gotta get the little sauce.
Man.
Yeah.
It sounds fire.
So what, you got a whole gator?
They have whole gator in the store that you can buy, but me, I got a couple of patties, like hamburger patties, and then I got like some steaks.
Oh, you feeling good?
Yeah, my boy Grant Johnson, shout out Grant. He gonna put them on the grill.
Some gator steaks.
Gator burgers,
Yes.
man.
Yes,
Man.
gator burger. What we
It's
wanted to
different.
do, man.
It's different.
That's the thing. He said that
That's
he didn't
America.
want to cook the normal burgers, hot dogs, stuff like that. We're gonna do all like exotic meats.
Y'all
Throw
put
some rabbit
dinosaur
there.
on that grill.
We
That's
gonna
what's
throw some goat
happening.
on there. We gonna- Man, hell yeah, we got it.
Shit.
Yeah, I wonder how lean gator meat is. Like for real, like that's. You think it's healthier?
It's a tougher meat from what I've eaten.
Yeah.
To me, it was like greasy chicken.
Like
Like it was like a greasy chicken.
fry it right.
Definitely
Delicious.
greasier. To me, it tastes better than chicken, but not as good as goat.
I got a mental thing. I can't really get down with it. Like I don't eat frog legs.
I don't
I
miss
don't.
frog legs either.
So is it a reptile thing?
I think so. I done touched them too much, and I'm just like, That ain't going in my fucking mouth. Fuck all that.
You fuck them up.
But really, hey, I'll tear some frog legs up. I ain't gonna lie. I won't eat a turtle, but frog
Oh
legs.
man, I eat it.
Turtle soup. Yeah, you tripping.
No.
My son got 2 pet turtles, so I got an affinity. It's
I look at it
sentimental now.
if turtle and gator was that good, like good for you, good meat, it would be in the grocery store. You know what I mean? I just can't fool with it. I do eat deer meat, but reptiles and stuff, I'm not eating them things.
Hey, gator bites.
You gotta expand your taste.
Yeah.
The palate.
No,
good.
I had some fire ass chicken wings right before y'all got there. No fucking complaints. I'm gonna eat some more after y'all leave. So, I don't know what y'all talking about.
If the apocalypse ever come, I'm gonna eat.
I hear you.
I'm gonna eat.
Yo,
Survive.
so talking about that, during the first episode, we were talking about family and everything, and like being prepared. Because shout out to Eli, he has Art Contingency, which is like a preparedness company that goes out and teaches you about being prepared. Mm-hmm. So right now, you know, with Ukraine and Russia and the world supply of wheat about to run out in like 4 weeks, and gas prices and all that, do y'all fish? How important do you think it is for men nowadays to go back to being able to eat whatever or fish or
I think it's extremely important for men to be self-sufficient in today's world, because real deal, the way it's going, you don't know what's gonna happen. You really don't. Like, it's so much stuff. Everybody's scared about them trying to come over here and start some stuff, this, that, and the third, whatever. Mm-hmm. Everybody talking about their Second Amendment getting taken away, this, that, and the third. Like,
that's always a scare, though. Everybody always worried that their guns about to get taken
away. But in
away.
actuality, like, if you're not real deal ready to do what you need to do, like as a man to provide for your family, like what the hell did you do?
Yeah, some people don't know how to. Like I real deal feel like the generation that we seen, the ones like right under us, not like those 7-year-olds when they grow up, like the ones right under us, like 24. I don't think they have NT clue. Like what on some real, like even country boys, you know what I mean? Like we are in the country, so I know how to go fish. Yeah. But that was just one of those things you have to, because you gotta go outside. Yeah. At some point they sent you the fuck outside or sent you away for the summer and shit. Not just being in a room and everything. I just don't think they just know it.
I gotta learn it. I used to do it when I was younger, but I got away from it. I gotta relearn it. But those guys right behind us, like my brother, he like a couple of people I know, they won't eat chicken on the bone. If it's on the bone, they won't eat it. It's like, where you think this strip came from?
Right.
Right.
And if you have that type of
palate,
right, then the apocalypse is gonna be hard.
Yeah. It's gonna be almost impossible. I don't feel like we have to go back to medieval times in like everyday life. We need to be going out here learning, hey son, this is how you throw a spear into a bison or something. I don't think we need to be on that, but it's certain things. I remember one of my old friends, this was probably 2012, 2013. There's a female friend of mine, she pulled up to my house. I was living in Pulaski on East Woodring, and she had just left her boyfriend, and she came, her tire was flat. He didn't know what to do. She came over to my house on a flat tire, which could have been to a rim up. Exactly. Yeah. And me and one of my guys, Willie Will, man, we changed the tire for her. You know, but these are things that is not like.
She had a spare and all that.
Yeah, she had a spare. And he didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got a lot of guys, man, if you no AAA, oh shit, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. But I think that is important. We have to at least know, all right, know how to grow some things. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not asking you to go out here and be crocodile hunter and jump in the damn lake to grab a bass with your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But know at least.
Would that appeal to you?
What?
If she jumped out the water with a bass in her mouth, ooh, that's my bitch.
I ain't gonna lie, you elite. You doing some shit like that, you elite.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we need to have some of these skills. We need to have some of them. We just can't be sitting around here thinking, well, man, that's back in the day. You know what I'm saying? No, it's a reason. It's a reason why your grandmother looked at your grandfather a certain way. That's because his ass got out after work. He got out there and he was tilling to the farm or whatever they had. Shit was fucked up in the house. He wasn't on it. He's stressed out because he can't get a repairman or electrician or something in there. He's gonna fix whatever he can. And then the extreme stuff that I don't know anything about. Okay, we can call somebody.
You gotta call somebody.
Yeah.
But if I know how to do it, or if I can find out how to do it, I'm gonna fix this shit.
Yep.
And we have to get back more into that, I feel like.
And I feel like really to piggyback on that, it's not much so more of it. I don't feel like anybody can truly have an excuse because of how much information that we have at our fingertips now.
Yeah.
Like you can literally YouTube how to do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything. Like
They underestimate this. Like we use this for all kind of bullshit.
it's a tool for real, but it's
every answer to, I would say 96% of the questions you have can be answered right. This is the space age. You know, on Star Trek when they walk around computer, it's Siri.
Yeah.
That's
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like it.
Yeah. So anyway, my bad. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, you good. But it's just, I think it's just crazy, man. Like it's just the fact that we've gotten so comfortable in just either paying somebody or just being cool with being ignorant on the fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody want to take the time out to read the manual or like read the instructions or watch the videos.
That's facts. Reading that manual is different, man.
It is.
Like, I'll go to YouTube and watch the whole YouTube video for the manual.
I'm like that too.
I can't even lie. Like, and I'm a writer. I
Yeah.
love to write, but if I can.
But it's
I'm
different.
watch a video.
It's
real
different
quick.
because you still
over
striving.
10,000
You know, like you still striving for that information. You know what I'm saying? It'd be completely different. You just like you got the man. You just like, ah, fuck, I ain't gonna read. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna read. What?
Man.
I'm a visual learner. That's kind of why I got into the profession that I'm in now. I'm a visual learner, so it's like when I see it and touch it and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. For
And
too
plus,
long.
it's just like little shit I be needing that you got to hear somebody talk. For me, like, so I need the guy to, if he under the hood, he like, all right, you gotta put your hand in there. It's gonna be a little tight, but you put your finger right there, you feel it. If I'm reading a manual, it just says back there, I'm just gonna get mad.
If y'all have come across this, a lot of the instructions don't even have words no more. It'll have pictures and dotted line, and you be
It's
like,
illustrations. It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
And
This step, then this step.
You gotta
Right.
find a number and then.
if I see that QR code for that video, I'm going every time. Every time. If you need us to make videos, call us. Every time.
I don't even think we have that luxury as a people, to be honest. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, Caucasians, they can do that. Oh, they didn't weed eat the right way. You know, I'm going to call somebody else to come in. You can go into any level, like household concerns and stuff like that we have. I don't think that we have that luxury where we can just start throwing out money. We need to know how to do this stuff ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we are, we competing with people that have more resources than us, and they have more money to throw away than us. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of money to throw away, were y'all into crypto?
I was watching, but I was like,
what do y'all think about the fact that it was at the beginning of this year, crypto was the main thing talked about, and now because of everything going on, it's like so quick. It's taking a hit. Have y'all seen like?
Well, what they're saying is that it's not a hit, that it's actually leveling down to what it's actually worth.
Oh, it's taking away all the inflation on it.
Right, and it's all that getting quick. You know what I mean? 'Cause you buy low, sell high. So right now, and they're saying they're encouraging people to hold on to it. I'm not playing that bullshit, but
I did not.
I'm not. No, I'm not doing it just because it's not a tangible thing. You know, it's all dependent on codes and shit in the digital world. I just can't fuck with that. If I can't go just get my money.
And this is a tech guy.
Yeah, I'm
he's
just
like the
not
ultimate
fucking
tech
with
guy saying that's too techie.
Yeah. So like for me, would I play the game and get rich?
All right.
That's one thing. Am I gonna sit in there where like as soon as I sold my share and I had this much, Ethereum or whatever it is, I'm cashing it out, I'm gone. That's it. I done bought low. Oh, it went high, sell it, cash it out, go. I'm out. Yeah. Like a dope deal. You know what I mean? I'm out. You know, like it's not going. I'm not sitting around playing. Well, you should hold and wait for it to. No, I don't want to do any of that. If I do that, I'm just gonna go into like day trading and shit because that's actual money.
Yeah.
So that's just me.
So do y'all invest? Anything y'all interested in like stocks, 401ks, or bonds, any of that? Y'all?
I'm studying more, like, cause like I really don't quite understand specific stocks, and so what I've been looking at, people's like, well, just go into index funds, because index funds cover a group of things and things like that. So index funds, so they kind of can help you if you don't 100% know what you're doing when it comes to stocks, specific stocks. Like, man, I want to invest in Walmart. But you don't understand Walmart's business model, stuff like that. Yeah. But just get an index fund. And your index fund might have Walmart, piece of Amazon, piece of Google. It might have it'll be a group. It'll be a group of things and stuff like that. And that way, it's something that you don't have to quite understand and watch every single day. Right. Stuff like that. But that's just from what I'm hearing from people that's got more money than me and what they just do.
Most definitely. But I always like listening to people with more money. As much money as I am, we trying to figure out the same struggle.
It's okay to be a copycat. Just copy the right cat.
Exactly. There you go. All right.
The thing is, though, by the time the message gets delivered to the streets, most of the time it's too late. You have to really pay attention to the trends. I'm gonna say this. Here, I'm gonna ask you guys, what is a trend that you've seen that big money people are doing right now?
NFTs. Well, they kind of slipped.
They slipped with crypto. Go. You.
Buying used cars.
Okay. Go.
Probably NFTs, like he was saying. Like I remember people talking about those for a minute.
How many homes have y'all seen get bought by companies and turned into rentals?
Oh yeah. That's part of why things are so high now in the house.
They're not building. There's no more land to make. You can't make more space and land.
Yep.
And they're buying, every house is being bought by a company in a day. They have the capital to do that. They've got the credit line to do that. That's long-term money. Everybody's always going to need somewhere to live.
Yep.
That's the long money game right now. We're going to buy up everything, and these niggas ain't going to own nothing.
They're going to rent, and they're going to be happy. That's what they're going to show. That's what
we're going to choke the shit out of them.
That's what they're doing.
Yep. Am I wrong?
No,
you're right.
Correct.
All right, continue.
So if that's what's going on, then how long will it take before choked out? Just period.
I don't know, because people are still renting. People are, oh man, that ain't too bad. It's a 2-bedroom for $1,900 a month. You like, ooh, I used to rent that same spot for $400 less than 10 years ago.
Yep.
So
less than 10 years ago, for real. It's been jumping.
What they're gonna do is they're gonna flex. They're gonna see how far. Just like gas prices. They're gonna see how much we're willing to pay before we break. And right before we break, they're gonna bring it down. It used to be down here. They're gonna bring it down about right here. It'll never see here again. Okay, we stretched them this far. We're gonna bring it down a little bit. We're gonna settle right here for about 10 years. And then we're gonna flex again. And we're gonna flex again.
So what's a good way to I don't want to say combat that, because you can't combat the future. Like that's just what's going on. What do y'all think is a sound strategy to operate within that strategy of how they gonna do shit? Honestly, I'm a very big believer in the barter system. Yeah. I really think that got our people specifically through hard times, but I feel like on a larger scale of things, with the internet available, if we, all right, let's say something is extreme and now you don't know how to fix that issue. All right, I done tinkered and fixed some shit all around the house, but now this one thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you just jump on Facebook, hey, can anybody help me with this plumbing problem? And then some guy knows it, but what you do on the side can help him out. So you know what I'm saying? There's no money exchange, but we can exchange time, services, help each other out.
Yeah.
If you don't grow food, but you know how to do the plumbing, but he grows some food. Hey yo, why you here, man? I just got these potatoes and carrots out the backyard, bro. What's up?
Take what you need.
Run it. You know what I mean? I think we go back to that. Then that is the cheat code around inflation.
We've been kicked.
You got kicked?
Yeah, we been kicked. Let's see.
Well, we ain't say nothing. Usually we get kicked after somebody says some crazy shit.
Kicked off of what though?
No, we still not. No, hold on.
We might be kicked, guys.
We might be kicked.
We might be kicked right now. But I feel like that's the cheat code, man, around inflation, around like, all right, if rent gonna be crazy high, then if we start putting ourselves around farmers markets and other people, you know, that just got trades and skills and shit like that can just swap out. All right, now I can still get things done, and I just gotta, you know, use my time. I use more of my time, but like the money I make from my regular job can cover this high ass rent, and then all the other stuff that's just gotta get done. I got me a phone full of guys, and we fuck with each other. You know what I mean? And they wives look out, and you know what I'm saying? Or they need their kid watched, so they can, because they gotta work over and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to go back to those times. Like I think it's gonna be forced. You know, we always talk about how it's not community like it used to be.
Yeah.
Back in the day, if you got in trouble, the person down the street will whoop your ass and your mama will whoop your ass. Like how they always say, I think that's gonna be forced to be back just from lack of funds. From the amount of people and from lack of funds, I think it's gonna be forced for us to be like, all right, yo.
Yeah, we got kicked because we're not on the internet. That one of them kids.
You know that craziness. Let me see what happened.
Okay. Damn.
It's still recording.
The Wi-Fi still up. The Wi-Fi is not still up. It is on his side. Yeah. Your account has been locked. That ain't what, nigga. Wait a minute. Unusual activities may mean that someone has used your account without. Oh, that's okay. Oh, like, damn. But I feel like that's what's gonna happen, man. It's just gonna kick back into where we gotta rely on each other. Like it's not gonna be a big group community meeting. It's just gonna be out of bare necessity. Like just if you're running out of food and then all right, so I ain't gotta get too deep on the camera. Man, 28 food processing plants and burned up.
And don't nobody know why.
And ain't nobody questioning why, nothing. So we got food supplied from the wheat about to run out, and then we ain't got the processing plants for the food that we do still have.
I'm gonna tell you what's fucked up though.
We gonna have to start goddamn working together.
This is the game that they're doing. 28 done burned up, right? But if they done burned up, that means fields are still full.
Yeah.
They're not buying. They're not putting them in the factories, because that's how you get it distributed to the public quickly. What they doing is they buying the cows whole, and then they getting a private butcher or a small town butcher, you know what I'm saying, to cut up the shit and then get to the house. So they got meat for a year and get them too. You know what I'm saying?
My partner down in Lawrenceburg
That's what
bought
they
half a
doing.
cow.
That's what they doing.
He bought half a cow for $1,000. He had to
freeze
get a whole nother deep freezer just for the half a cow worth of meat.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, for real? Yeah, because your Wi-Fi still up on your phone, but
Yeah, I know.
It's like a little freeze out game that they're doing for real.
man, I gotta do some shit like that. Anybody want to go in?
I done thought about opening up like a small little butcher shop for real, 'cause I know how to cut up meat.
For real?
You gotta cut it? Oh shit.
Man, you
That's-
hey,
that's
bro,
one of my-
let's go get the goats and the lambs,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
I'm
That's
trying to
live
tell
on
you.
YouTube.
Oh, for real? That nigga got some game. Damn.
That's one of my biggest hangups. If I start going hunting and stuff again, it's like
Cleaning them?
Yeah, I got no problem. I got no problem with shooting it, but
Clean up.
yeah,
That's my
that,
thing.
boys.
yeah.
You said call, hey,
Yeah.
all right. That's what we need. See, and just like that, like,
Oh, this is why.
yeah, I thought you saw that.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. But yeah, see what I'm saying? He can clean it. You kill it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like things could operate that simple. Hey yo, I just dropped this deer. You clean it for me, bro. We gonna split it in half.
Yeah.
Run it.
Y'all both got meat for 6 months.
And you know what I'm saying?
Recycle, we gotta recycle everything we do, from our labor to our money. We gotta keep that shit within us. It's gotta hurt us. We gotta feel like almost a sense of shame when we go out and spend our dollar outside of our community.
For real.
Why? Because we economically at the bottom.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like we have to be conscious of that. We can't just say, oh man, yeah, well, I like crime. Yeah, I know I know about 5 other black-owned cognac makers, but I like Crown. We're gonna have to start making the decision of either I'm about to switch and buy me a new cognac, or I'm gonna get Crown and this black-owned bottle when I go to drink. That has to be a decision that we are making. And man, you do this, yeah, you know how to clean the animal. Man, I know you hunting. I know somebody with an empty building or something like that, or a food truck or something like. We gotta start going to each other, and a big part of that is not looking at each other as like, man, even though it's competition on every level, stop looking at each other like we gotta compete with each other off the bat. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be my brother before you my enemy.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm saying?
For real. And see, that's what we've been trying to do, like seeing the boom in entrepreneurship, especially like from the pandemic and everything, and then running for the city councilman and running on like financial literacy and seeing how much people want to know about like their finances and getting their money right and doing like for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we decided we was gonna start just be the advertising and the marketing for the little guy, for the grassroots. You know what I mean? The non-franchise spots, just to just get eyes out there, because even though we got the internet, a lot of people, if you got a lawn care business, getting you a commercial shot and then knowing where to have that commercial broadcast so you can get eyes locally on people you can actually drive to and shit, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like a market we want to try to help, foster, you know what I mean? Yeah. But the internals of, because Columbia's still a small town, you know what I mean? So the internals of this person and this person do the same business type shit, so now they at odds type shit. It's like,
when we can't get into that.
Yeah.
We can't get into that when we we have different people that do different things. The thing is, if Brandon, if me and you, if both of us say, okay, we're gonna become barbers, we're gonna start doing hair. Yeah. There's gonna be some people that rock with you that for whatever reason they don't rock with me. They need to be.
Want to do something different for the love of your life? More lavish.
You're now rocking with DJ.
With me. And if we get somebody else, you pop up, you start doing hair, hey, if they got a problem with me, they need to go to you. Yeah. We have to get over, we're the only community that I think we enjoy the ratchet pettiness, but it's more of the negative aspect is you tried to holler at my baby daddy back in 2013 at the lounge. I saw you, bitch. So I'm not gonna support your hair salon. Yeah. Matter of fact, all of my homegirls that need their hair done, I'm gonna make sure they go to this other bitch before they go to you. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to bleed you out so that you never successful. But the thing is,
it's a lot of trying to bleed each other out. Yeah. On a small level to where ain't nobody got enough blood to goddamn give.
You can't do that in a small area. And we have 15 people trying to bleed each other out through whatever they're doing.
That's what we faced with.
They never gonna get nowhere like that.
No, we have to make every town. A black town. I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest slaps in the face. At an event down in Pulaski. This was a couple of years ago. And my daddy, he actually spoke. Charles Randolph, he actually spoke on the square. This is when the KKK was marching. They still march. But they had this pro-black event on the square around the time that a lot of people were pushing for taking down the monuments, the Confederate monuments. They had it right beside Sam Davis. They refused to take down the Sam Davis Confederate monument. Yeah. And then they put this black event right behind it. So, so when you taking your pictures and everybody's getting video and stuff like that, then you see it. It's a slap in the face to me. We have to stop being okay. The football field that I played with on in Giles County, Sam Davis Stadium. Sam, I don't have a goddamn thing in common with Sam Davis besides that we both got hair and a dick. We male. I feel like, why am I playing in this Confederate, this stadium named after this Confederate soldier?
And what gets me, and it's the most simple thing, but what gets me is they lost. Like the Confederates lost.
Yeah.
So like all this stuff named them, like winning history is stuff named after the losers.
Yeah.
They lost. How you named after the losers? That's my thing. I know history and all that, but your history, like you know how they say the winners write history.
Yeah.
Not in this case. This is the only case to where it's like they still get the right history about losing.
As ironic as it is, the South is the only place in the world where you will find a descendant of a proud ass loser.
Yes.
Yeah. Proud ass loser.
Hell,
proud boys, proud ass losers. For real.
Yes.
It's crazy.
That's the part that throws me, like when it was a big fight against, no, we're not gonna take the statues down. They lost. There's losers. You're like, you want a statue up of the niggas that lost?
But
there's a bunch of them that just lost.
These are the best losers, though. The best example of losers that we have.
I swear.
It would be the South, because you have a group of people who enslaved another group of people. They came to these Native Americans and taught them, hey, I can teach y'all how to enslave some niggas. Y'all want to know. And got these 5 families to start doing the same thing, got them on board, and had to actually come into these Cherokee, maybe Chickasaw too. I know we all got some of their blood in us too. They had to come to these. They said, hey, man, if y'all don't free these niggas, and the government actually told them, man, look, we freed these niggas. Unfortunately, y'all done held on to these enslaved people now going on 12, 15 years. Set them free. And if you don't wanna move them and let them assimilate inside your culture, then you have to give them basically 40 acres and a mule, a fake 40 acres, a fake version of 40 acres and a mule. But what I'm saying is the South, why they're so proud is what losers you know where they got reparations for having to give up their slaves. This was popular around 1960. It was I forget the term that they was using there, but it was rampant throughout Tennessee. It's where it's basically rent a nigga. It's rent a slave. Hey, all right, your pawpaw's going off at war. Little Jonathan, he's about 17. He done ran off to enlist early. And then we got little Connor, but he's only 7 years old. And mama's taking care of everything. What we gonna do is we gonna go rent a nigga a couple of counties away. You bring him here, give him his pass, and if and he's gonna come here by night on this road or whatever like that. When he get here, he's gonna come till to the land. If he's got a woman with him, she's gonna tend to the house. Then we got these patty rollers, or our first police officers. So if we catch these niggas on the way back and forth and they ain't got their right pass, I'm gonna shoot this nigga dead in the street. And you know what? And I will face no charges for this.
Patty rollers, overseers, officers, homie.
Have y'all seen the new video of the latest unarmed man that was just shot, the unarmed black man, Jaden Walker?
I have not. I ain't seen it.
It just happened in Akron. They just released the video. I saw it right before we went live. Man, they shot him like 60 times, unarmed, running away.
Is this why people was screaming at LeBron like earlier?
Yep.
I seen
it happened in Akron.
He was running away.
He was running away, and they lit him up, man. They hit him over 60 times. They shot over 90 bullets, hit him over 60 times. He was unarmed, running away.
Now see, on the civilian side of things, if one of us did that,
I'm about to cut y'all. All right. I gotta reset.
That's straight against the law. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? If someone was we couldn't necessarily shoot somebody running away from us, even though they just might have done something to us.
Yeah, they could have slapped you.
Yeah,
they running away though. Your defense is gone.
It'll be no repercussions. We don't have a sense of community, a sense of unity. Thing is, if you start shooting these Koreans, I want to see the list of how many unarmed Koreans have been killed in the last 5 years. I want to see.
Bro, you ain't even got to look at the unarmed Koreans like killed by police.
Yeah, that's what
they had that one day when the
down
person,
in Atlanta, wasn't it?
Yeah, when they killed the Asians, and they had a whole Stop
Oh,
Asian
yeah.
Hate bill
Yeah.
that applied to whether you dealing with the police or
That's
civilians.
funny.
They all Asians are protected because they had one day of a mass shooting.
They have
we
that
even had
back.
the churches, the supermarket, and all that. We ain't got no Stop Black Hate bill.
They have that backing. The thing is, you go out here, you start knocking out Norwegians, Swedish people, Brazilians, whatever. They have a country that's they're gonna come in and start fucking shit up.
Yeah, it's gonna back them.
They're gonna reach out to the government and they're gonna say, y'all better stop this shit. If not, we gonna start fucking some shit up. There's gonna be some consequences to this. But us, we don't have any backing. And the thing is crazy because I talk to a lot of our brothers and sisters, and they get hung on to that Native American heritage. It's fine. They say, oh, well, I got Cherokee in my family. I got Blackfoot in my family. Yeah. They don't know any of the spirituality. They don't know any of the language or the culture or anything like that.
Aboriginal, and they want to claim this land on a deeper.
Yeah, they just my eyebrows are like this, or that's why my son got good hair. That's about as deep as it'll go. But you want to claim this is any way to get further away from where you really came from. We don't have any backing. That's the reason why police can come and kill your black ass, and they can overkill you. And you know what? We don't know where we came from. So Kenya is not acting up. I'm not. Nigeria's not. God damn it! Hey, we putting a stop in this. When black people are getting killed by when we getting overkilled, what country is coming out and say, hey, y'all better stop that shit or we gonna act the fuck up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause go run in 7-Eleven. So I say, hey man, I'm getting tired of these 7-Elevens. Every East Indian I see, I'm smacking the shit out of his ass or I'm fucking his shit up. And see how long it takes for them to come over here and release. They'll have a goddamn statement ready with incense burning, cologne, dance music. Now they'll have that shit ready ASAP.
You know what?
We don't have none of that.
You know the reason why? Because every time some proud brother tries to stand up for us, they done shot his ass down. And everybody is scared to assume that position. That's what it is.
Can I submit a thought? Yeah. All right, so from the last episodes and everything, we talked about that, how like leaders are always killed and how that has it's traumatic. And that traumatic ripple has caused a fear of stepping into a leadership position that's outside entertainment. But I feel like the reason why we don't have any country that's going to stand up on our behalf, and why we don't have any central guidance, is because we don't know our history. We don't know who we come from. We don't know where we come from. So there is no country to stand up for us, because we ain't got no country to assign ourselves to. Africa got over 50 countries. Yeah. So African American, you combine a continent and a country, trying to say that you come from someplace. You know what I mean? That you are this identity thing. And if we actually understood our collective history, instead of trying to hold on to I'm a Native American, or hold on to, well, I'm Haitian, or I'm this, and we just realized where all of that came from, where it stems from, our collective history together as melanated people in this diaspora. We all came from a unique and same place. Your haplogroup, your DNA, your blood, Ancestry.com, if they get a Native American and if they get a black person that came off the boats, their DNA is going to go back to one general direct area.
Black people, we gotta stop being scared of DNA. I'm glad. I'm glad that you said something.
Because it's science at this point. Like we was talking about with the phones. Yep. Like everything is there for you to be able to learn and consume and digest and figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And we all have a collective history of coming from a place. And until we start identifying together as with our collective history and start admitting that we share this history together and identify by that, we're gonna remain scattered. We're gonna remain being able to, anything that's a black face we can attribute it to. But there's no, Egypt ain't standing up for you, but all of us love to say how we came from kings and queens of Egypt, but Egypt ain't saying nothing on your behalf.
Let me say this, Brandon. Yeah. Because I had a talk, this was about 2 months ago, and I had a talk with one of my Moorish brothers, and I feel like it's a proud kind of heritage, you know what I'm saying, there. when I said stop being afraid of DNA, because if your cousin, if this girl Shaniqua saying that your cousin raped her, and then he go to court and then the DNA proved that it wasn't him, we'll be hell yeah, man. The DNA got him like that wasn't him. We'll celebrate it. But as soon as the DNA tell you didn't come from Pocahontas, then you came from the Ivory Coast, then your ass, this DNA shit, these white people got this shit, dude. I don't know where this shit comes from. You don't trust the science.
Ain't no damn white in me.
Yeah, like shit, man. We don't want to accept that.
It's real.
But we really, like, man, we have to get to a point to where we not looking at. I can hold this. It was a meme. This shit was popular in about 2015. It was some slaves on a boat, and one of the slaves was like, "Man, my shackles are shinier than yours." And then the other slave was like, "Bro, we on the same boat."
Right.
Okay. My Moorish brothers, we know this as a fact. There were some Moors that came over, you know what I'm saying, to the Americas as free men. Some of them owned slaves themselves. Now these are the melanated people of prominence that came over here. These niggas was walking a little bit different, you know what I'm saying, when they came. There wasn't nobody owning them, freed men when they came over here. If you want to hang on to that and then feel like in 2022 that you are somewhat better because you came from a line of Moors and you can track your lineage to Moors.
Right.
You can track your lineage to some people from a tribe from Angola that was totally dominated and they were living in as slaves in South Carolina. You don't have no reason to feel like you got something over him.
Right.
This is crazy. This is a crazy ideology to me, and I don't know if any other race shares it, but I definitely see it in ours. If you can look down on him and call him was a kata. I got called a kata.
Yeah.
One time when I was over by Jefferson Street by this no, she was Sudanese, by this Sudanese bitch. She spoke Yoruba. She didn't know that I knew.
Kata.
Yes.
I know what she said, bitch.
She didn't know that I learned Yoruba. The first time I heard it was my brother's favorite movie was a movie called Sugar Hill.
Yeah, I know. I know.
From
that movie is when I was like, if I get caught in a kata, I'm slapping them.
Yeah. So I started learning Yoruba in 2019. Started teaching my kids.
Yeah.
And so then I found out. I heard that word. She called me an kata. Now I want to say a lot of things. I'm not gonna say right now that I want to tell her, but I spoke to her. I said I forget what I said. I said like a sentence to her in Yoruba, and she turned around. And then she started asking me these questions. Nah, bitch, I don't want to answer your question.
You disrespected me off the back, and you judged the book by its cover, and you didn't read, bitch.
Yes, exactly.
Read the book, bitch. Read the book.
But we have to get rid of that. A lot of our people are not familiar with a lot of the rebellions that we had, especially with the Geechee people down in South Carolina.
Hey, you're learning Yoruba. I'm learning Gullah Geechee. I'm teaching.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
We gotta learn about this.
I gotta get deeper in Swahili.
Man, for real.
I tried to learn Swahili is next.
Yeah.
Swahili is next
right now.
for me.
Like, hey,
He said what?
He learning Hebrew.
Hebrew? Oh, okay.
That's the root. Hey, because that's what I want to like real deal. It's so many identities that we like claim to, whether it be Native American, whether it be Moors or whatever. Moor just means black. Like that's what Moor means. Moor is just black. Like Native Americans and all the tribes and everything. Like all of them have a collective history, and you just gotta go deep enough. Now, I'm one of those obsessive people where I just go deep enough. But I do that because of legislation, man. Like, the reason we don't have reparations is because we don't have a collective grouping. The reason why Malcolm X got killed is because he was going to sue the United States and take it to the UN and on behalf of a collective group.
Yeah, Johnny Cochran, too.
On behalf of a collective group, like to be able to collect it all together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I went and looked into the Moors because, Hidden Colors, and I did a whole movie theater. It turned the American Legion into a theater and showed all the hidden colors as a.
I remember that.
Man, I did a whole marathon. So I looked into that. I did look into the Egyptology. I looked into the Islam. I looked into all of that. But even the Native American, like on my dad's side, I don't claim it. I don't say anything about it. But I'm mostly Native American because my dad's side, I just found out this year, so I'm still trying to process it for myself, you know.
Yeah.
But I got pictures of all the men on my side for like the last 7 generations.
Do all y'all? Does everybody have some Native American in y'all family that y'all know about?
I have heavy in my heavy Cherokee.
You probably do.
Okay.
I don't. I've got German, Jew, and Creole.
And Creole, for real.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I will say I got something on my dad's side because a lot of his family, my granddad, they come from down there in Georgia and whatnot, and then
Chickasaw area,
Chickasaw, Cherokee, and stuff like that. So So it's probably in there because I've seen
Cherokee.
Yeah.
For me, my great grandmother, she was full. Man, she was red as the inside of that damn cup.
And
Wow.
my
granddaddy was weird.
And like if I'm out in the sun, because I work in the sun and everything, like I'll tan, but at some point it'll start turning reddish.
Yeah.
My hair turns reddish in the sunlight.
Oh, that's a giveaway right there.
Me
So,
too.
That's a giveaway. But like looking at all of that. All right, so the Native Americans, the oldest copy of the 10 Commandments that's been found was in Ohio, on a Native American reservation. Yes. Yes.
If you gotta Google the Native American 10 Commandments, bro. Like it's crazy. It's the same thing, bro.
Moors were in what country?
It gets, and now I'm gonna be simple. Short because you're making a point. It gets kind of foggy because a lot, like when you said that Moor means black. A lot of the Moors now, they're tracing their lineage to the more Arabic, the Arab Moors who did not consider themselves black. It's kind of like when you have Europeans writing your textbooks for you, and they're giving you definitions, and they're telling you what this means. We can't. And I like Eminem. I like a lot of his stuff, but Eminem can't be in charge of like the hip hop. Like if we're putting together a documentary of all hip hop and stuff, he can't be. Yeah, he can't be in charge of the history. You know what I'm saying?
No, we need Fab Five Freddy.
We need Fab Five Freddy. We need KRS-One, Talib Kweli. We need some different people that's doing that. A lot of the Moors today, they don't find the Moors who were native of Africa, and I'm not talking about the Ethiopian Africa or after 2,000 years after the pyramids had already been built and after the Arab the Arab invasion of Egypt. So I'm talking about Nubian Africa. They don't go to those places. They stick it around Saudi Arabia, places like present-day Palestine, modern-day Iraq, the Levant. So they're getting their information from Arabs who had things to say about black people.
Right.
So I don't know if that answers your question a little bit, but I don't want to learn about the Buffalo Soldiers who fought for America. I don't want to learn about that from white generals. You get what I'm saying? Right. Telling me how they felt, what battles they went on, they was this heroic doing this. You know what? I want to hear about it from some of those sergeants and colonels who were those Buffalo Soldiers that was out there saying how, we were put on the front lines and left to our asses. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we took over this territory with no help. I want to get it from the source, not the people to where you were so broke or you didn't have enough resources, so you had to reach out to somebody who did and then let them write your shit. Yes, translate your shit for you. Right. You're not going to the Tanakh, and man, let me study the Tanakh. But I only want the version that's been translated out of Peru. Why the hell would you do that?
Right.
And you know there's a Tanakh that you can find that's going to date back closer to the region of where the people existed at.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
more real.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So with that, all right. So with the Moors, like you said, Iraq, and then Portugal, Spain, a little bit of where Iran is a little bit though, like, but more into the Iraq side.
Even some Morocco.
A little bit of Morocco for sure. It's like real heavy with the Muslim, but when you go back and track where they landed at, every piece of these histories all tie into Black history. Like we'll call Negroes. Negroes, the Spanish word for black. All right, so where did Spanish come into our history? Oh, Spain. Oh, all right, where were the Moors at? Spain and Palestine. And oh, well, there was an Arabian slave trade. Oh, well, that Arabian slave trade actually had a whole pipeline that funneled people. And now you see how that worked. And we have a collective history to where it all goes back to one point to where if you go with your haplogroup and you start seeing how the Native American tribe and somebody who says they're from Haiti and then someone who identifies as a descendant of slaves will all, if they give a blood, they'll all have an E1B1A haplogroup. That E1B1A haplogroup identifies who we all collectively can attribute to. And then from there, now you can actually have claim. Now you can actually say things and be like, you did this on these people. You know what I'm saying? On this nation. You have done this to another nationality. Yeah. Like it's a nation, you know what I mean? Yeah. So now you have to give reparations. Now you have to give recompense. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we've been missing. We don't have anything definitive to stand on in a court setting. Yes. Like, and that's the problem.
Yes. And the Native Americans, they're the best example of people like, man, we may look on them and be like, man, y'all just some drunks with a bunch of casinos. But they set the blueprint for how to do it. Yes. They said, okay, they told the Europeans this, okay, we see what's going on. Y'all are about to use this manifest destiny shit to go from coast to coast and take over everything that we own. Y'all are about to start subjugating us. This is before they started putting them on all the reservations. So they came together and said, as a collective, look, we don't want to integrate. We don't want anything that you got. We are our own nation.
Sovereignty.
And what they did was they said, look, you've done this to us. You've taken over this amount of land. We've been fighting y'all for this long. Give us this. Now, what they did, that's another conversation, what they did with it. But black people, we did the exact opposite. What we did was say, Master, can I live downstairs? If you gonna keep the upstairs, or can I at least have the hoof off the pig?
But that came after a certain point. That's after we lost our towns. You know what I'm saying?
But see, it actually was before, because Abraham Lincoln, he had got to a point where the North was whooping the South ass, and he said, man, shit, god damn, I don't know what to do. Like, what we gonna do, y'all? He came to his generals. His generals told him, they said, look, we're gonna use a little bit of trickery on the South. We're gonna say that we're gonna free these slaves. Now, these niggas are gonna be jumping for joy. They gonna be running off these plantations. Now, we know all the men in the house and all the able boys, they're off to war. If we don't have any slaves taking care of these houses, it's gonna be some shit down there. Now, look, we don't really care about these niggas. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we got some damn slaves up here. Right. Hell, I got a bitch with cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner in my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right now.
But we gonna throw that out there we gonna stir up the South a little bit because we see what they doing. Yep. They know the countryside. Yep. Us, we sitting up here building on top of each other. They building, they expanding. Right. They know the land. We come down here, we getting our asses whooped. These niggas is jumping creeks and shit, getting bit by shit, not giving a fuck. We been living in Virginia. The furthest we've been in the South is Virginia. But yeah, we've been living in goddamn New York, where if we see a deer, that's some shit. You know what I'm saying? They was getting their ass whooped, but they noticed we have to advance this war strategy. Say we gonna release these slaves. A lot of people, I don't want to get on a damn tangent, but a lot of people don't know is if they had got to a point to where they said, okay, damn, we done made all these promises to niggas and we ain't did shit. Like, we ain't did shit for these niggas. Okay, we gonna move a bunch of niggas to Liberia. We gonna buy some land in Africa. All y'all niggas, especially y'all niggas with a little bit of money, y'all go over here. Because we already know it's some natives over there. Y'all gonna enslave them or do whatever you want to do with them. Y'all gonna, a form of colonization. Because we gonna come over, we gonna move y'all over here, give y'all some land and shit. And Google right now, what's the first democracy in Africa? Or the first republic in
Liberia, with the capital Monrovia, named after the president that sent them over there.
Exactly, exactly. So they said, okay, look, going back to 1861, black people owned a little less than 1% of wealth in this country, and we own just over that right now. But they said, okay, so y'all peanut butter making ass niggas, y'all trying to come up with some type of strategy. Oh, y'all want some wealth over this motherfucker. We're talking about a time to where most of the blacksmiths, farmers, sharecroppers were black because they were doing the work. A lot of white people were sitting around smoking high-priced cigars on the table, getting their beers and shit lined up.
They did not have hammers in their hands.
We had all the skills.
Yes.
But when we're turning to the industrial age, y'all actually think we gonna give y'all wide-nosed ass niggas all of the industries that are pushing the world forward? You think that most of the blacksmiths is gonna be y'all monkey ass niggas? Hell no. We're gonna send you over here to Africa. The niggas that don't want to comply, okay, you gonna be some coon, you gonna be some Jason Whitlock ass niggas. You gonna come work for us. That's why we have 92% of black men and women today call a white man boss. That's 92% in 2022. Nigga, if you ain't gonna go and get your own shit, you ain't gonna play some basketball or do some shit like that, I guarantee you, I'm gonna suck you in, you gonna work for me. And that was the thing that they was doing. And I hate to see it, I had to correct my son. I know I'm getting long-winded, but I had to correct my son because he goes to Pulaski. And during the time in COVID, when they were online, they were glorifying a lot of slave-owning colonists, and I didn't like that. And I had to tell my son, no, this man owned slaves. This man was not for your people. This man might have did some great things in the eyes of white men. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if a nigga was a good beaver catcher and he went into North Nebraska and started some shit. The nigga was killing my people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care about that. We have to get on to that. For a long period of time, I looked at some of these. Oh boy, Abraham Lincoln, he was an honest ass motherfucker. Boy, George Washington, he wouldn't tell a damn lie. You know what I'm saying? We got to get over that crazy shit, and we got to get down to the real. You know what I'm saying? If these people don't have a black agenda that's pushing our people forward, then we got to be done with them. Anybody now that's not talking about reparations, fuck them.
Look, all right, let me jump in. We had this conversation. All right, and a hypothetical. Let's say Trump come back, he gonna run, right? What if, in a real way, reparations was on the table? They on the table. He talking real. He talking $1 trillion off the rip of allocated funds to go towards reparations towards all people who identify as descendants of African slaves. If he came with reparations on the table, how do you think Black America would respond to Trump?
Let's go around the table.
I want to hear what everybody got to say. This will be shit.
Hold on. For me, let's run back when Bernie Sanders was running, okay?
Shout out to Bernie.
So many black people did not like Bernie Sanders because he didn't have a stance on reparations.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like Bernie, dude, number one, he wouldn't have enough time to put that shit together anyway. But I felt real bad for our culture. I mean, Bernie Sanders is pictured marching with Dr. King before he ever had presidency in his mind.
Ever. He wasn't even
so you gonna vote for one old white man? That would be the old white man
to vote for. And we ain't asked none of the other candidates about no reparations.
No.
Only him.
Yeah,
we just looking for a reason not to like this dude.
Yeah, right.
Bernie. I miss you.
Yeah. I feel like. So I mean, for me, I mean, without the type of structure he was just talking about, and I mean, that would take. Trump's not a deep man. He's not a deep. He's not gonna go in and do what you said. You know what I'm saying? So I would take it
like Ice Cube again and like talk to him and Kanye.
I mean, but
he talked to
as deep as Ice Cube is Ice Cube deep enough to go and say, okay, we're gonna look for this genetic DNA, this, and we're gonna link this to represent reparations? I don't know. You know what I mean? Ice Cube is deep. I'm not saying he ain't deep, but is he that deep?
Look at here.
You gonna have to come with a plan to sell me for reparations, or you just talking shit.
The platinum plan that Ice Cube had.
Right. What about it?
Look at here.
Dr. Claude Anderson.
Huh? Doctor, you said his name.
Dr.
Claude Anderson's still alive.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying. If you worried about if it's gonna go right, look, man, get him involved. Put that man in the room, because something that I believe as far as like, you know what I'm saying, with us as a culture, in the economics is like, you know what I'm saying, somebody be like, okay, well, who we gonna trust to speak for us and whatnot like that. And it's like, me personally, I wouldn't want somebody who's known and popular, loved Ice Cube.
Right.
And I respected him because he mentioned, hey, look, I had Claude Anderson work with me on this here, so it ain't just me talking no shit. You know what I'm saying? I brought this man in to work with me on this plan. So I was like, all right, so if it's on the table, he's still alive, hey, bring him in. This is his expertise. You know what I'm saying? Bring him on in.
This is what he known
and
for.
stuff like that.
He got 40, 50 years.
Don't just automatically jump to Kanye, Jay-Z, and all that because they got money and whatnot. Man, you need somebody who's expertise in his work.
It's qualified.
Talk
about this.
You said the platinum plan. Go ahead, finish what you were saying with that.
Oh, okay, yeah. The platinum plan that Ice Cube had set for everybody. This was back in 2018. Is when I just moved to Antioch. Then I forget which group it was. I don't know if y'all familiar with Dr. Watkins, Dr. Boyce Watkins. I watched him.
Yeah.
He had some people. They sat down and broke the numbers down. So we're looking at if you have a child that's basically any mixed child, then you know what I'm saying, you consider black. Okay,
of course.
So it basically drops down to around $19,000 to $21,000 per person in your household.
Okay.
For black people. So I don't know how many kids everybody has, but let's just say on average you have about 2 or 3 kids. Let's say we're looking at about $60,000 per household, and they're forgiving student loans, helping with credit, and then they're sending you definitely not gonna be cash payment. Sometimes I don't know, some direct deposit or a check or whatever like that. $60,000.
Right.
This is what I want to hear from y'all straight off y'all minds right now. How we thinking? $60,000, no student loans, and
wipe your credit.
And and wiping your, and they setting you up with a. I'm trying to be realistic. They setting you up with a 675 credit score. What are you doing? What are you doing?
The first thing I'm doing is I'm contacting about 4 different African American entrepreneurs that I know that are viable, and we're gonna go in and invest in something. That's the first thing I'm doing, because really that's a drop in the bucket right now. But my 60,000, your 60,000, your 60,000, your 60,000. We can go build a condo out on Myrtle Beach or buy a condo somewhere out there and let that motherfucker accrue us money. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing I'm gonna do.
What's the first?
No, come to me last.
Okay.
I got 2.
Kind of like him, I'm gonna be looking in the grouping my economic circles. Me, with my 60,000 by myself, not 100% sure what I can do with that. But yeah, I'm definitely going. All right, let's come together and let's see what we can do so this can further build us some capital and stuff like that, and keep it rolling and things like that. So
wiping that debt, does that include what I owe on my home?
I think it's more student.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I just want to make sure, because that frees up a whole lot of capital.
Yeah,
you know.
Would you be looking to go into like to move your money to a black-owned bank? Now noticing that you got great credit, you got about $63,000 in the bank to put towards whatever you want, no debt.
I would definitely be looking into going to a black bank, because something that was said years ago, I'm not sure if it's still prevalent now, but a lot of the banks that immigrants are coming to, they're going to them.
Oh yeah.
They not, you know, they
Better
might not
deals.
necessarily go to Fifth Thirds or
Better
Bank of
deals.
America.
Oh yeah, in Antioch you can see that shit
Yeah.
too.
Better
The
deals.
Arabs, hey, they on their shit, and
Yeah.
I can't hate on them.
No,
they
they
can't.
gotta work
They got
out.
their people on
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
What about you, 60?
For me, no, I'm more so on the bandwagon with y'all. But I don't see what I would love to see is if we could get a team, like you said, you get your 60,000, you 60,000. But what if it wasn't just like 6 or 7? What if it was more than 20? What if we had about a good group of 30 men? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm gonna take my share of my reparations. We gonna all go into this. You know what I'm saying? Like, how big are we really willing to make the chamber pot be? That's the big question. Cause that's more so as you not looking to see well I got mine, so I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Me and my family, we finna ball out, do whatever. That's more so looking at the whole community and down the road. You know what I'm saying? And setting up further generations for success. Like other people had the opportunity to that your ancestors didn't. That's the game for me.
I like how we all kind of got like a group economic mindset and a village mindset.
Yeah.
If we was come into something like I like that. I want to point that out.
I got one more person to answer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got 2 of them. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead and give me your answer before you say that.
You got 60,000,
I know what
perfect
his answer is.
credit, and you debt free.
Huh?
What's mine?
You going to Africa. You live in the
I
country.
can't even do it yet.
What? That's what you just
I
said.
can't do it with 60 though. I can't do it with 60. I know what I know.
How many kids you got?
I got 4.
You got 4.
Yeah.
So okay, 20. All of y'all 20 per child. Do you have any? Well,
But you know what, bro? My plan's so solid. I'm gonna let their mamas have it. I just let
you would give all your money to their mother.
from my sons. Yeah, they mamas can
Okay.
have it.
Okay.
I'm gonna do 2 things. Well, first thing is I'm gonna finish up getting my patent on my invention, because I already know that's gonna bring me another 20 to 40 million. So that's 60. I just need to take 15 of that, finish up my patent, get all of that done and finalize on the deals and shit, and then that's just millions that God already got waiting on me. Now with the other whatever's left over, I'm just gonna open me up a gas station and get my tobacco license. So then when they legalize, I'm just gonna call it the gas station. You can come buy you some weed, buy you some weed, and get you some gas.
That's it.
So have you ever seen a black-owned gas station?
That's all.
So if you had a black-owned gas station, how quickly would people support it? And now you got 2.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just gonna have a black-owned gas station, sit my ass in the AC, chilling. And if you come inside, I got some shit behind the counter for you. And once it become legal, then we got the real deal. But hell, the liquor stores get a tobacco license for $100, and they got Delta 8 and THC 0 and shit.
All that.
So I get me a gas station.
You get this 93, you get this 93. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I'm just chilling. That's my plan.
Yeah.
That's what you want to invest in. You said that you would get with some other black entrepreneurs. What's something that y'all want to invest in? Like,
You know
what's
what we
the first
need,
thing?
nation building wise. You know what we need.
Yeah.
Because everybody thinks real estate because it's money wise, but you know what we need to invest in that will bring in money, and we just gonna take the blueprint that works. Nation of Islam does this, but not the gas station part. But we need gas stations, we need grocery stores.
Oh yes, yeah.
Right. We
Yes.
need gas stations.
Franchises.
Franchises.
Like, that's what I'm like, a black grocery store franchise.
Yeah. Or even if we all got reparations, and Bruh started one in Clarksville and I started one here,
Right.
then that alone is a very big jump.
It's also about community build. Like it's like not community. It's more so about buildings that you need in the community.
Yes.
Like as far as gas station, everybody need a gas station. Everybody need a grocery store. What
60 bands can get you a clinic.
What would it look like if you seen a group of black people own a thrift shop? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or
for real.
popularizing black-owned mom and pop shops. You know what I'm saying? Or holding the walls like that. This, that, and third. But more so things that we would usually go to people that don't look like us.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Or like a black-owned cell phone company.
Right.
Type
We have
shit.
to do the opposite of what
We had one of those.
that Skid and Dave Chappelle where he has reparations. And he was
yeah.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah. We have to do the opposite of that. You taking
buying a truck full of cigarettes.
your household bringing you might be sitting at about 70,000. You know what I'm saying for y'all. You know what I'm saying. Depending on some niggas gonna be sitting on about 120,000. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
just in the house,
man. But that's the last thing that we need to be thinking is, man, I need to go put some rims on the truck. I got this Caprice. I've been wanting to put some speakers in that bitch. And then we just start going up, doing.
With the lack of trucking companies now, like they got a big deal with the trucking, the shipping and stuff. It's all jacked up right now. Yeah. Build a fleet of black owned.
Man.
You have more control.
Marcus Garvey tried to have his own shipping company, but didn't he?
Starship
cruise line and stuff.
Yeah, it was a big ship that was going to transport people from here to Africa and back. They raised the money for it too.
Bob Johnson, when he first sold BET, he was wanting to get into something, and I forgot what.
He got shut the fuck down.
He got shut down. he ended up owning the Bobcats, but he was wanting to get into something like, I don't know if it was airline or something like that. It was something that was going to be
I thought it was boats too. I thought he was doing a cruise line or something like that.
It was something with travel. Yeah, that he was going to try to get into.
But he was going to connect Africa. Like you can transport. Yeah, I ain't hear nothing else about it.
Yeah, I forgot what happened to shut it up, and then he ended up taking the money and owning the Bobcats before Michael Jordan and stuff like that.
Jabari Osage and Dr. Garfield, this guys have been. They go back and forth from Africa. I think that we definitely have to get more familiarity with Africa. I've heard man, some of my people
go over there and establish a bank. If one black-owned bank here went to any country over there and just started a chapter, just opened up a bank, just one branch, now you have international commerce.
Oh, do you know for the price of if you're paying $1,300 for like a 2-bedroom in Nashville, you know you can get a 5-bedroom, 2-3 bathroom condo on the beach in Ghana.
Oh yeah.
The
guy across the street is which country was that he said he was from?
Kenya. Kenya.
He's from Kenya, but he peeps us up on all of the.
How often I talk about it?
All the time. We talk about it all the time.
And that's the crazy thing.
Cameroon, Nigeria, Kenya.
Black people here in America. If you were to go to Ghana, you could be living in a mini mansion on the beach for what you paying. And what I've learned, man, throughout life, it's all about perception. We pass niggas working on the road crew for the jail or whatever. God damn, man, glad I ain't out there. They thinking, man, I'm glad I'm out here, man. You know what I'm saying? I finally got on the road crew. I'm knocking out some time with my sins, man. Today was a good day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. They happy than a motherfucker, and we sad as shit passing by them thinking that they just in distress. It's all about perception, man. You can feel like, I'm doing so much better. I'm up here. I'm big dicking it in the USA because everybody want to come over here.
Somewhere else and flip that.
Be honest with yourself, man. Niggas is struggling over this motherfucker trying to pay this high ass ring shit and keep up with shit that you got to do. You can go over there and be with some of your own people.
What I always say.
Yeah.
And man, be living a lot better for cheaper.
How long I've been saying it, Pop? Every single man. Look, like, and honestly, because I do want to take it into another talk real quick, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all, because I'm big on financial literacy and I ran on it and all of that, and I know about it, and taxes and credit and all of that. I'll be honest with y'all, and Pop know I'm not lying here. I myself personally in my life, even though I know about it, I don't put much stock on it. But I truly don't think I know I'm not gonna be in this country. Like I know it. You know what I mean? Like when there's a piece of me that's still like just like rebellious, like to where where I'll like max out my credit, give me $100,000 and tear the fuck out on the ass. But IRS, I'm not doing that. But just seeing what you can transfer your money over to, like. We don't have to live like this. Yeah. We just don't. But getting out of that mindset of being able to say, because people died in New Orleans because they wouldn't leave their house because that's where they came from. They're like, this is where I was born, this is where I'm gonna die, and that fear of leaving or crossing over to something new. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But there are countries that are not first world, but are economically developed, where you could flip your money and $1 here is $250 there, and it spins like that. You know what I mean? And we can take this Americanized hustle that ain't nobody in the whole planet got to match it, take that anywhere else and apply it, and that money gonna jump back. It's gonna bounce back. That's why when he heard the 60,000, oh, Brandon gone. He leaving. Brandon going to Africa. Off the rip. Because we look into it all the time. All the time. Like, if 250, I wrote a report about it after I went to the Million Man March. If 250 professionals of trades, of skills or whatever, got together and dipped to any country of their choice, they could take over the economic and the industrial field.
Infrastructure.
Yes, within 5 years. Within 5 years. Yeah. Within 5 years. If they just went over there with just like, not even like with resources of capital, just with their own hustle and their own know-how and their degrees to propel them alone, they could take over. If you got 250 from just this Americanized hustle format, you know what I mean? Man, the world is a very big place, and we have Stockholm syndrome. We just stuck with our captors, just thinking we gonna goddamn go along and get along and figure out their system, but their system is kept to keep you at a place where there's a glass ceiling.
Yes, and it changes. With technology, they go fucking change the system up so quick. We wake up tomorrow and everything has changed. Think about it. Niggas was hustling with their cash apps, with their Venmos and their PayPals, and they said, you ain't about to get this money.
Anything more than 600, we don't know.
Yeah, we taxing it. They gotta report it. Just that quick.
Switch up the whole system when we can go somewhere else and create our own system. We can go to a place that does not have everything that we know is coming, and then we can do it in the right way.
How do we get niggas out of? How do we get them out of the mindset of, oh, I need Paw Patrol, oh, I need Love and Hip Hop, oh, I need a Ross down the street, oh, I need this. How do we get our people out of that mindset that I need to stay with this man that's been beating my ass for 10 years because he sometimes he tells me I'm pretty and he does all, you know what I'm saying, these other little things. How do we get our people out of this situation?
That's what I want to get into, because I feel like the answer to that is the man. Because we have to, regardless if we want to or not, or if the responsibility is supposed to be so much on us, it's still gonna be ultimately.
But you can't compete with this white man.
But that's what I'm saying. How do we deal with trauma? Once you have dealt with your trauma and you're a clean slate, you see things for what they are more. You know what I mean? Not saying you're gonna see it completely. Some people can be healed and still just be a dumbass. Yeah. But a lot of our trauma and the way we process and grieve and deal with the trauma, or don't deal with it at all, is what puts us in these codependent society situations. You know what I mean? Like, to where we feel like everything has to be asked for, begged for. You get used to the small comforts you got, and you just hold on to those. The Ross got to be down the street. I gotta get these cheap clothes. I want to look as good as possible. You know what I'm saying? All the time, like this trauma, whether it be individual or generational. So as men, though, who, I don't know if your dads was in your life or not, or if they were there a little bit or whatever, but in this nation, the studies have already come out that being black in America leads to your stress, and stress leads to high cholesterol, blood pressure, all the stuff that kills us early. Cancer, yes, all the stuff that leads to us dying early. One of the causing factors of that, or attributing factors, is the stress, the racial stress of just being black in this country. So how do we deal with the trauma that we all have in our own individual and as a mass to be able to go forward, to be able to do things in the right way? Because people have good intentions, but if you got trauma on you and you don't know how to deal with it, you can flash the fuck out, and now you're a good guy with a bad moment, and ain't nobody trying to hear shit else after that. You know what I mean? Like,
I think we need more education that's more intentional towards us. A lot of our boys get diagnosed with ADHD. Because I don't want to sit here and listen to a 60-year-old white woman tell me about Christopher Columbus, and I can't sit still. My attention is going somewhere else. that doesn't mean that I need to be put on medication or that I'm just, my home is in disarray or anything like that. I think we need to get more of a commonality with our people and get on code. I use this as an example. A lot of things go back when I was in Antioch, but I was in Antioch and I got some Chinese food. The shit was late as hell. Then they dropped it off at my damn door and didn't even knock on the door or anything. So by the time I came out there, my shit was cold. So then I went back to the store I called them, they didn't answer, trying to get a refund. When I went in there, the dude got smart with me. He started speaking Mandarin. Everybody in the back started speaking Mandarin. It was one old black woman. She had already got her food, and the dude tried to dismiss her. And she said, "I'm gonna stay here, and I'm gonna make sure this this boy that he get his situation handled."
There you go. All right.
This one, I guess he was the Jet Li of the restaurant. He tried to come to the to the front and big chest me. For one thing, I don't speak your language. Don't have these side conversations right in front of me, knowing that I don't speak this. But see, I couldn't turn to this woman and speak to her in a Central or West African language. Right. We don't have that option.
Right.
We can't get on code with each other. When your daughter is acting up in the restaurant or in the grocery store or whatever like that, you gotta turn to him and speak in English and tell him, I'm gonna slap the fuck out of you if you don't stop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can't turn to our child, speak to them in a native language and check them just so we know. If me and you go out and say we notice we getting hustled by a group of guys, I need to be able to communicate with you so that we on par with what's going on. Right. We ain't gotta let everybody know.
Right.
But me and you gotta do this.
Right.
And when me and you can do this, when I can turn to my old lady, she getting on my damn nerves when we've been out. When I can say something to her, we don't have to act a fool in front of everybody.
I got that with the Geechee.
We have to get on code with each other to where it's a real sense of brotherhood, a real sense of, man, look, my nigga, I don't care if you came from the Congo. I don't care if you came from Burkina Faso. We here now. This is what we established. This is what our people have been through, and this is how we're being looked at. Nobody's walking out the house saying, "Oh, that's a gay man." No, they recognize what you look like, and that's just real life. That's just real life. We have to form. We have to get on common ground with each other. I'm not saying that everybody has to go out and learn a second language or that everybody has to think like I do, but I think that we all have to be B1. We all have to. You my brother. I want to see you doing good. It's niggas now. I don't agree with these niggas' philosophy on life, and I don't fuck with these niggas, and I ain't gotta fuck with these niggas. But if a nigga open up a restaurant, man, look, y'all fuck, man. I hope bro business. I hope that shit pop off. You know what I'm saying? I hope that nigga do good.
Do you feel like? Oh, go ahead. You want to?
You know how we can do that?
Tell me.
Real quick. Because black people, we talk to each other quietly in rooms all the time. So if our mindset at least is on how that, I love that, how the old lady was just there and she was like, I'm just gonna be here. If y'all had made eye contact, even without her saying it, and she just said, no, I'm gonna stay, and then y'all made eye contact and alright, you with me, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like we do that a lot to where
we used to have a little common ground. You know what I'm saying? Where I remember I'd have white friends with me. And I'd be walking around and see a group of black folks. You know what I mean?
And they ask you, do you know them?
Yes. You know them? No, I don't fucking know them.
My girlfriends used to do that to me all the time. Like girls I was dating at the time, they'd be like, why you speaking to everybody? You know everybody. Like, I don't even know everybody.
It ain't me.
We people.
Yeah.
But
that's lucky you ain't with the kid shit with me.
If I do that to a group of 20-some-year-old black, 25 and under.
Oh yeah, they won't.
They you know
look at you like you weird, like you did something crazy.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
They'll say hi to me just because I look their motif.
Right.
Because of the tattoos.
I noticed
crazy
the
ass
end
hair.
of that when I went to Michigan and I held the door open for these black guys and they literally walked by me and they said, man, you acting like a bitch.
Whoa!
I was like, wow.
Damn.
So then here we are, and this was over 10 years ago.
Wow.
I said, oh, here Here we are. This is where we at right now.
This is where we at.
Yeah.
Self-destruction.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I can't even hold the door for be courteous to our fellow brothers.
Yeah.
I knew then. I said, well, I'm on my own out here.
I used this analogy before. It was a group of white men, and they were talking about this when I was in the maintenance field, and they were talking about how they would have disagreements with each other. And in one, I guess a board meeting, whatever the fuck you want to call it, then one of the guys said, man, they was cussing each other out. They was talking about each other. Why, man, like, man, you been doing this shit, like, man, your ass always drunk or whatever. Like, they really got personal with each other. At the end of it, they said, all right, we're gonna get some drinks and, you know what I'm saying, we wrap up the meet. Everybody got all day smoke out. Mm-hmm. And then it was business at the end. Us, we'll sit here and,
we'll sacrifice the business first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sacrifice the business.
Man, sacrifice the business
or the community.
and hold on to those little personal vendettas. A lot of us as people, we gotta stop acting like our grass is green on the other side. Let's just be honest with each other. And I know we done seen this a lot of times, especially with the opposite sex. It's some bitch just swear she can do so much better than you. You don't have any options. You don't have any options of real value. Let's stop playing this shit. Black people as a whole, let's stop acting like we don't have to fuck with each other. Like we don't need reparations. Like we don't need ownership. We don't need land. My nigga, I can just do it by myself. No. None of us are in this position to where we can just say fuck.
No one else has ever taken that role except us.
Yes.
No one else is like, I ain't trying to ask nobody for nothing. I'll get mine on my own. Yeah. You are crazy. Every other person on the planet has done that.
I'm a strong black woman. I don't need no man. Reverse that as a man and see how stupid that sounds. I'm a strong black man. I don't need no woman. How the fucking stupid does that sound, man?
I'll never say that. I'll never say that.
A woman finds a good thing, man.
Hey, there you go.
I preached this on some of the other episodes. It's a false sense of security for the women because now the government has put that welfare in place. Mm-hmm. I don't need a man because without a man, I can get. Oh, that's probably gone. Yeah, without a man, I can get $12 rent. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Without a man, I'm not competing for who is. Let's see. Oh, you got a little bit. Without a man, I'm not, competing for filing for my taxes. Mm-hmm. I'm not, So there's that. Okay. Then there's another thing I brought up a couple times, and it's about black branding. Okay. You can pick up your phone and you can type in Chinese restaurants. Yeah. It might not even say Chinese restaurant on the title of the restaurant.
Yeah.
And everything pops up.
Yeah.
Mexican restaurant.
Hell yeah.
Everything, and Siri gonna tell you how to get there. Mm-hmm. Can't do that with black restaurants. No. You know what? We didn't brand ourselves. Every time we start branding ourselves in America, there's some sort of thing. Anytime, and this wasn't black business, but like Walmart released the Juneteenth ice cream.
Tried to.
I typed in Chinese restaurant 16 within 15 miles. Bro.
There you go. So, anytime we try and brand, even if they use a brand name for it, like at some point in time, if we want to get on this branding tip, we either gonna have to make that choice. That's the thing. We don't want to make the choice, but we don't want them to make the choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you feel me?
Yeah.
So from a business aspect, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna have to come up with some way to be branded. Mm-hmm. Not in a negative, not branded like your cattle. Okay.
That's why I have to invent a whole thing. Like that's the missing thing now, because everything that's already out here is either culture to where anybody can jump in on it, or is grabbed up by some other, because getting your nails done is not a Korean thing. You go to Korea, they ain't got the best nails in the world, but they've just found something that's gonna be their niche market. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's their thing. You know what I'm saying? And if you walk into a nail shop and you see some Korean ladies, you have confidence in where you're at because you feel like they're gonna do it the right way. You know what I mean? And if you need some landscaping and 2 trucks of Mexicans pull up, you have confidence and the job is about to get done. Not because they have better grass in Mexico. You know what I mean? So we have to actually, at this point, because we've missed out, like you said, we're usually late to it.
Right.
We have to add things into the sphere of what's working and then claim ownership of that. Like, we have to add to it. You know what I mean? There's not a black-owned gas station. There's not a black-owned grocery store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to add to it now at this point because everybody else is grabbing shit. Like, we already got this. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't got nothing new, but our thing can be this digital age. Because with us being the spearhead of culture and cool and the digital age being, we're at the beginning of the future right now. And that's why we can actually talk about structuring the future from a realistic standpoint because we're only 22 years into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you watch iRobot or Minority Report, we're not even there yet.
Right.
So we're still at the beginning of the future, like for real. You know what I mean? So we can really take into account what in this digital space is in our control, and then we can lock down.
Back to something he said earlier when he was talking about the independent black woman and black man thing. I would invite any of them to sit down and read the entirety of the Willie Lynch letter. When you talk about how independent you is as a woman, so like, or as a man, read the entirety of it. Because if you read the entirety of it and break it down,
You fall
you falling right into it because it was set up to, hey, we're gonna get these men out the way and we're really gonna run the game on the women. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like you're saying, with like, oh, well, without the man, I can have better rent, this and that thing. You know, you're looking like you got options, but it's like, no, you just transferred power.
Yeah.
It ain't within you, your people, and your family anymore. Now it's you and the powers that be that you're working with. You know what I'm saying? You just lined yourself up.
You just transferred the power.
You just transferred, like, so because the snippet everybody talk about is what Denzel Washington said in the Vader's movie.
Yeah.
You know, that was just a snippet of it.
Yeah.
But the entirety of it is like,
It's a full breakdown.
It is a full breakdown. It's like, man, we're gonna kill the black man, beat the black man, take him totally out the picture. You know what I'm saying? He ain't worth nothing at all. And now we stand in between you and your people, and you know what I'm saying, and your man, basically.
Yeah.
I don't think they accounted for how many white women were gonna jump after black men. I think they missed that. They was like, oh,
I think that was gonna happen.
Oh,
Change the game.
I didn't think that really fucked with them. So okay, let's get on topic here just for a minute, and it's all on topic, but you know, we're talking about structure and the future. Let's do some bullet points here, kind of. What would you put on? I'm gonna go to each one of you. What would you put on the list of things as a culture we need to hit first?
Start on that end because I want to go last. You go first.
You want me to go first?
So we can wrap around.
Okay. The biggest thing I think for us is we have all this information. We're just shucking and jiving this information out. But we don't have a prominent leader for us to all point in and be like, okay, he said we need to do that. That's where we need to get, you know, this is what we need to do. Okay, well, you know, Dr. King said this.
Why don't we listen to Farrakhan?
Because not everybody is Muslim.
But I'm not Muslim, and he makes complete sense to me.
I know, but
perfect sense.
That's a faith.
That is an intelligent brother, man.
Like what? Like even when he's not talking about like spirituality, when he's like, I went to the Million Man March. This man had the math broke down on if we, as the 40 million people we were at the time, needed land to house 40 million people. How many acres? How many cows? How much milk has to be produced? How much wheat? How many of those acres have to go to the wheat? Like,
I get that, but okay, we all listen to Farrakhan. Is Farrakhan gonna take all of us in as Christians, Buddhists, whatever, atheists? Or are we gonna have to all convert to Islam to listen to Farrakhan? That's a two-way street. Yeah, we can all, fuck with Farrakhan, but is Farrakhan gonna fuck with us?
Then what leader? do we have that doesn't have a spiritual connotation to it?
I don't know. See, this is
Not
part
to
of
call
the
innocent,
problem.
But
Go ahead.
going back to your bullet points, I would say, like for our culture.
Yeah, for our culture, because this is the whole thing is set up for our culture, and for us to be able to go back and look at this and say, okay, maybe this is something we need to figure out. This is a blueprint on our level to what we can do for our culture.
It's hard just to pick one bullet point.
Yeah, just
a few of them.
I would say for us, because it's all of us as men in the room, we find and assume our purpose. You know what I'm saying? Find and assume our purpose, because that'll take away a lot of distractions.
My cigarette again.
That'll take away a lot of distractions and things out of our lives if we figure out a purpose and assume it and go after it. That you know and
good homework lesson.
Yeah, because you know we don't have to be the best at everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what the community's for. It's like that. So we don't have to be the best at everything. We can be something. You know, my purpose can be one thing. Y'all's purpose can be another thing. And work together on it and stuff like that. So you know that's why I said, like, going back to when you said Farrakhan, it's like, yeah, he could be one, and I would imagine that they would work with us, because even him and others that's in the nation, they say, hey, look, we gonna get ourselves on code and come together. We'll sort this religion thing out once we got ourselves together. Because right now we all have common issues, common tragedies, things that's going on. No matter your religion, sexuality, preference, things like that.
Right.
No matter where you live.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's commonalities in it all. So, but you know, trying to stay with it on the men's side, it's like you know, find our purpose.
Assume your purpose.
I would say reparations. Reparations is absolutely critical. It's not optional. I think a lot of our people think that, man, we might get reparations, we might need to fight for it, or it might be a dream in the wind. No, it's absolutely critical. The typical or average white person has 35 times more wealth than you. The white household has about 200,000 compared to 20,000 for black household. You don't have the money to fight back. We don't have the power to do anything. Asians have some of the lowest voter turnout. That's because they're not running begging to a politician every 4 years. Oh, please change this. Please do something for me. They don't have those problems. Why? Because they go for ownership. They know they're going in Chinatown and they buying up everything. When you go in a Chinese restaurant, everybody in there is Chinese and nobody has a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? They know what they need to do and they look out for each other. Us, we would think it was damn racist or some shit if we walked in there and everybody was the same damn race. I don't know why we think that, but we're not playing the game, and we think that we'll be all right if we don't get them. We'll be all right if we do get them. No, we need that compensation. We need that compensation. We out here, we lost at 1860. Then your ass owned a little less than 1% of wealth in this country. Now 2022, I think your ass own about 1.3, 1.7% of wealth in this country. You get these politicians that come here it's probably about every 7-8 years or something like that. Then and some of them been hanging on as long as they can. Jesse Jackson and all these people, they've been hanging on. But every several years we get a new shiny forehead ass nigga that come in here saying we making some progress or something like that. Or look how far we came. Look how far we came. Why your ass don't own anything? We don't have control of any resources, any land, anything. Right now, if Diddy was like, man, I'm a billionaire, I'm about to start a school for boys. Matter of fact, I'm about to give me 200 acres, put this school out here, then we're gonna have shooting ranges, we're gonna have driving, we're gonna do all this. Yeah, it's gonna be a boys' school. I'm gonna set this up. Man, first of all, half our people wouldn't even support them. We wouldn't even support them. we the only people that go and looking at stuff like this. Man, ain't this nigga Diddy gay? I ain't letting my son. And I know, I'm just saying.
A few of us will. Yeah.
We are the only people. We will look for anything. And I know I'm getting drawn out. But before I end it, I'm going to say this. Y'all remember, especially since the Kelly trial he got 30 years. Mm-hmm. When Hugh Hefner died, all these niggas was the ultimate pimp daddy, Mac. Mm-hmm. Hugh Hefner, he had the hoes. He was doing all this. Mm-hmm. Hugh Hefner was flying girls in 14, 13 years old. This is when this man was well into his 40s. He was flying in 50s, flying these young women in. Mm-hmm. But we look at him as the ultimate Mac. Mm-hmm. R. Kelly, I'm not saying he ain't a nasty motherfucker. I'm just saying R. Kelly, we go after our own people. And we make them the face of nasty motherfucker. He's the face of racism. Mm-hmm. Not the motherfucker that's been doing it for 30 years, getting away with it. We gotta get away from that shit.
R. Kelly got 10 more years than Maxwell.
I seen that.
10 more years. She had a whole island, a whole empire, with Epstein.
That bitch had kids coming in from Antarctica, Atlantis, everywhere you can think of. She had kids coming in, doing shit. But, yep, I seen that. Yeah. I seen that.
Mom would be true, sustaining self-sovereignty. I feel like for us to keep trying to make amends or either just try to
integrate.
Yeah, to an extent, because I feel like because you got to think back in the time where our grandparents were our age.
Segregation.
Bro, we were booming.
Yeah.
The sad truth that people don't want to hear is that we were better off separated.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
Reason why? First off, you had no other choice but to look out for your brother.
Yeah.
Because you knew.
Yeah.
It was a known thing. Everybody's eyes were on you. Mm-hmm. Everywhere you went. Especially if you went to the place across the tracks or the other side of town.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like us moving forward in the future, if we don't establish more community or just building back simple humanity aspects, you know what I'm saying, in our culture for real, like people are so attached to their phone. Like back to what Brandon said, what if we really went back to the barter system? We would have no other choice but to be more humane to the people that's around us, because you would have to go, all right, I got this, you know what I'm saying? I can't give up no BS, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to get some of his good stuff. You feel me? So it would have to be more of a people would have to be forced to be moving more honorably.
Yes.
Than what they are. You know what I'm saying?
The integrity would need to be there.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Finish yours, Bob.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No, I was just talking about leader. We don't have a leader for us to. We take. Here's the thing. We take money advice from a nigga with no money. We'll take. You know what I mean? We'll take advice from a homie we cool with, just because we cool with, about relationships that has not been in a relationship ever. You gonna take marriage advice from a nigga that ain't never been married. Just because you smoking with that nigga don't mean you necessarily. And he might have some good advice, but we all know that you don't have that real advice. Like, a nigga always, man, kick that bitch to the curb, you know? But people that's been married 20 and 30 years, they gonna tell you when you just gonna have to suck that up and accept it and keep it going. Or, you know what I mean? Don't, or, you know, I've heard older black women tell younger black women, you know, that man might have cheated or something, you know, you gonna throw your whole household away because that man stepped out once. You know, like, there's advice there that only experience can be given with.
Yeah.
So we don't have any leaders that's directing us. We the blind leading the blind.
I think we actually do have leaders, but they all the wrong leaders. I remember, do y'all remember when Young Thug was on the red carpet? Now, this was a long time ago. It was probably about 2016, 17. And they asked him that question on, like, what do you think about Black Lives Matter or black, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, basically, I make music. Like, I'm not focusing on it. Do y'all remember that?
I remember that.
It was BT.
That,
he was on some car, but I can't remember.
the Biden administration, Kamala Harris, they jumped past doing an interview with Dr. Claude Anderson or Ice Cube to go talk to Cardi B.
Yep.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about what Cardi B has to say about this.
Right.
I'm sorry, like I don't care if she got a hit out. I don't care if her album is doing good. And before people just say I'm just misogynistic. Oh, you hate women. You have an evil penis and all this shit.
Talk about how 2
Like,
Chainz is always on CNN.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about what 2 Chainz thinks about
Right.
this.
Trinidad
You know what I'm
James
saying?
on, yeah.
I don't.
MSNBC's.
We have to, but I think they do that. They do that.
They do it on purpose.
Misinformation.
Yes,
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 on purpose.
on purpose.
Yes,
They want us to
They
show us
know
in
when
a
you
certain
come
light.
to Dr. Claude Anderson, I have to be on my shit, and I can't go in there throwing a
can't
bunch
finesse
of
this.
rigmarole. Yes,
I can't finesse.
I can't go in there using a bunch of ambiguous, broad terms that don't really mean shit, and he's gonna fall for the old okie doke. But I know if I come in there and I'm talking to ASAP Rocky, or I'm talking to Lil Baby, this nigga just gonna be in there. He just gonna be glad to be talking to Camilla Harris.
Did y'all see when they back in the day when they brought David Banner on?
Oh yeah.
They thought they
Yeah, he ain't a regular nigga.
Because his music from back at the time.
Yeah,
Like a pimp.
They're like, nope,
They
nope.
better read books, man. I'm sorry.
The God box.
Yeah.
That shit is the truth, man.
Yes, sir.
The truth.
Yes, sir.
True. Yeah,
Love the
God
God
box.
box.
They thought they had one. It's like, no, man, I'm educated. I study out here.
Yeah.
I got something to say.
Yeah.
Real.
Go ahead, Brandon.
All right.
Your bullet point.
All right. I need y'all to hear me. All right. Because this is based in facts. Okay. Okay. So the thing that's gonna address leadership, that's gonna address finding a purpose, that's gonna address reparations and dealing with each other on a better level with integrity and honorable, and gonna address marriages being long-standing and not being able to just throw shit away just because you're getting advice from somebody else, goes back to how we identify ourselves. How we identify ourselves. We have to know that we first, the only way to heal is to first figure out that you hurt. So you have to admit your flaws, which means you have to be honest. So we're going to be honest. If anybody at this table has a phone, pulls out and Googles E1B1A, this bloodline, which is a fact. This is a fact. This is DNA, all right? I'm using science, okay? This bloodline connects the people that say they're Moors, the people that say they're Native Americans, the people that say that they're just black, the people, whatever. We are genetically related in the descendants of the Hebrews from the Bible.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just plain facts. I can prove it to you in 10 ways without using the Bible. All right? Okay? I can just prove it. It's just a fact. I can just prove it. It's nothing to fucking question. The UN knows. United Nations had a report
Fuck I'm
on
talking
it.
about. Yeah,
Like,
say what you chest.
it's just the facts.
Yeah.
So now take away a leader, because you don't need a leader, because now we all can identify to something. And not only can you identify to something and be like, all right, yeah, we're this thing that we share the same blood, and you've done something to us as a people, so now we can stand up as a people and say you've done this to us, and we have a land to claim, being the land of Israel, and we can have a claim to a landmass that is genetically ours. We can do all of that. But every single person of status or whatever that knows their lineage of being a Hebrew Israelite descendant has poured back into their people because of this truth. Kanye West found out, and now he bought a bunch of acres of land, opened up a school and an orphanage so he can fight up against Planned Parenthood, because so many people get abortions and it affects the black community. Yeah. P. Diddy, in his Lifetime Achievement speech at the BET Awards, said the first shall be last, the last shall be first. That is a Hebrew statement. Amen. That means that the Hebrew people will come back to the forefront. And then right after he said that, he donated $2 million. One to Howard University, one to Deion Sanders at Jackson State University, because we need to play for ourselves, right? So that's that economic push and being supportive of your brother, right? Nick Cannon, when he found out that we were Hebrews, he went back and got his education at Howard University, then had a podcast talking about it, and they canceled his ass. But he went back and got his education at a black university. All these things that we're talking about, we talking about marriages. There's a book. If we realize who we are and go to that, there is a book that will tell you how marriage is supposed to work, that will tell you how a household is supposed to work. It will tell you how a family dynamic is supposed to work. It will tell you how you find your purpose. It will tell you how you assume your purpose. It will tell you your traditions. It will tell you, instead of us just saying we come from kings and queens, it'll tell you the names of them. It'll tell you the names of them. It'll tell you the lineage of them. If we go back to who we are and we remember who we are and just take away your whole, is Jesus white or if it was real or all that, if we just go off what we have to follow. If you're Native American, when they go around the fire, what do they say? Hi. Am I lying? No, am I lying? What's the Hebrew word for God?
Yahweh, homie.
You found the oldest 10 Commandments on Moors. The reason why Moors were in Spain, the reason why they were over there is because after we ran out of Jerusalem, we got mixed up in the slave trade. Some of them went around and ended up in Spain. That's how you got the name Negro. So then if you look up Negro land, it takes you to West Africa. How did Negro land become a label of Africa? Because they got sent there from Spain during the Spanish Inquisition. We learned about the Spanish Inquisition because they were doing the Jews. Well, Jews is just short for Judah. Judah is the Hebrews. They just stole our name. They, like everything else, they whitewashed Jesus, they whitewashed the Egyptians, so why would they not whitewash the Israelites? Like, if we go just by blood, you ain't got to go off your faith. You can deal with all that later on. But if you're trying to figure out how we going to fix and mend the problems of our society as our community, our culture, our people, how do we break bad traditions? How do we stop eating the foods that kill us more than we kill ourselves? How do we stop aborting babies and now we have half the population that we're supposed to have? Then you go back to who you were and find out who you were before everything that is in our brain was put into us in indoctrination. You know what I'm saying? Once you figure that out, then everything else opens up. If you have money, you give money and help your brother. You're more honorable. You have more integrity. You do all these things because you know your identity. And until we have an identity that we can collectively group onto and embrace, we're going to end up in the same situation, because anytime a black person is talking about, are you talking for you or are you talking for them? Mm-hmm. But if we come in and like how you said, branding, if you have Hebrew clothing, there is no Hebrew clothing. If you go to Israel right now, it's called Jewish. You know what I'm saying? It's kosher. It's not no Hebrew. It's not Israelite, they're called Israeli. You know what I mean? Right. So these are brand names that are untouched, that are still there, that are ours, that we can use if we want to, if we want to brand them. Right. You know what I'm saying? All the bullet points can be touched on if you claim your identity.
Let me ask you this: for our brothers and sisters who they have a different view or a different ideology, we know that now the Hebrews of the Bible, there's different nationalities that are laying claim to this. Definitely the people of Palestine, they're not about to give that claim up. They look at the Hebrew Israelites as a black extremist group with false information. We're not about to break these niggas off anything. Our government, I forget how much are we sending to Israel every year? $5 billion. These people are definitely not going to share resources with us. You know what I'm saying? How do we get and I follow a lot of Marcus Garvey, Amos Wilson, and Malcolm. One of the things that I like the best that Malcolm said, and I learned this probably about at 25, is that leave your religion at home. You said something about it earlier. Leaving your religion at home because we have to figure out the economics first. Yes. Now, how do we get to touch our brothers and sisters who they align the different ideologies? Okay, my grandfather, he used the DNA, tracing Ancestry.com, and Family Tree, and it's something Ancestry. It's a green app. But I have it on my phone now. But and he traced our lineage back to the Bubi and the Fulani tribe and some Yoruba. from West Africa.
Yes.
This is Nigeria. Okay.
Negro.
Now these the natives of the native Yorubas, they follow this spiritual tradition called the Orishas. All right. Now they have in their mythology or folklore is different traditions. There's different variations of the story how they got there. Some say that they came from Morocco. Some say there was some Islamic influence early on.
That passage, that pipeline of, because Morocco was right here, and Spain's right above Morocco, then Portugal's right here, so they all come from this.
But this is at a time when their leaders were aligning with other tribes, and they were doing more expanding and more bartering. Like, oh, okay, all right. Perfect example of this without saying a lot is your tribe is expanding in this area. We're about to go through a drought, and we foresee this. I'm going to marry my son off to your daughter. That's going to create an alliance within us. Okay, we're going to take on some shit y'all do. We don't have to believe in it or really accept it. But, hey, we need that because when this famine hit, we're going to need some of y'all's crops. We're going to need y'all to fuck with us, and we're going to need y'all to not look at us like Alexander the Great when they came into India. And they was like, y'all niggas is weird as hell.
Right.
We need to find some type of commonality.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Between
Yes.
ourselves. Okay. So, for some of our brothers and sisters that, with some of me, now I consider myself to be agnostic or atheist, whatever you want to call it. It's not, I can't definitively tell you this God doesn't exist. I can tell you that I don't have enough belief to substantiate that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And now, and I grew up in the Seventh-day Adventist church. Did a lot of stuff at Oakwood College. I've read the Old Testament about 3 or 4 times, the New Testament about 2 or 3 times. So I'm familiar with the text. I'm not as familiar with the Quran, but I'm familiar with the Torah. I've read Maccabees. I'm familiar with Enoch. This is stuff that
Apocrypha.
Yes. This is stuff that in Seventh-day Adventists, when you're coming up, that you have to learn more. So when you're a Baptist, it's more, nigga, if you learn it, you learn it. If you don't know it, you don't know it. But in Seventh-day Adventists, they make us learn this stuff. All right. Now, for our people, who, as I spoke about earlier, some of our people are proud Moors.
Right.
And they're going to hang on to that.
Right.
And then as soon as you come to them and tell them, hey, this is what the Moors were doing in Spain at this time, they're going to combat you with, no, we were doing this at this time. How do we get to past the point to where this is going to separate us? What we saying, because I know if you watch YouTube, if you watch Sonetta TV, I don't know if any of y'all watch that Sonetta TV.
I know what Sonetta is.
If you heard of Captain Tazariak.
I think so. No.
From the ISUPK camp. And I actually studied with an officer, Thadawar. Damn name. This is in Nashville when I first moved up there. But if you're familiar, Captain Tazariak said something one day, and he said if it was an African boy starving, he wouldn't give him anything to eat. How do we get past this shit to where we're not? Well, we can acknowledge, okay, this is where I come from. This is my lineage, but I'm not gonna treat you different because you have a different lineage or because you feel like you come from a different background.
Because it's spread. It's spread. I mean, you have in quick answer, blood. Just blood. Regardless of if all right, Nation of Islam. They are descendants of that came off the boats. So when we do the research, we got the same haplogroup. You know what I mean? Like, but you say Allah and I don't. But that's not the point right now. We have the same blood. We have the same blood.
But those Moors those Moors that came over here as freedmen that owned slaves, a lot of us could look at them in the same way that we look at these Europeans. Some of our family was owned by Moorish black people that came over here.
Look, you gotta forgive that it's the blood, because whatever happened then was some then. Because whatever that happened now, whether you was Moor, whether you black, or whatever, I bet you got your head cracked on this. Doing this in between.
Now, do we separate that those bloodlines.
No,
He said, you're from West Africa, but you're from Eritrea, you're from Ethiopia, and your ancestors actually owned slaves when they came over here.
Look, if you are if we all are from the same landmass, so we can all have a collective claim on our history. So what has happened from us leaving that landmass and getting to this diaspora, I ain't got time to hold nothing against nobody. You was trying to make it in the society you was in at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't, however somebody make it is how they was doing it right then. But I'm not gonna hold nothing against you if I find out that your people own black people. I ain't got time for that. We're in a dire situation. It is critical.
You're talking to a black man who actually figured out and found the white family that owned his.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was friends with the descendant of the family that owned his family, and they didn't even know it. He found out and was like, "Yo."
Yeah.
So you gotta gotta forgive that. We ain't got time to those semantic splitting hairs and stuff. It's a critical situation. And the circumstance is past the brink of bullshitting around. We can't bullshit around with you say Allah, you like the word turban, or I like the da da da, and you like the. Hey man, let's run this test. If we all come from the same haplogroup, then we can take something up against these people and have something to stand on, because now you've done something to a nation. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this too. We're really asking the group. Do y'all think that we should eliminate scriptures or philosophies that keep us at odds with each other? In the Quran, it says that you should not abhor a Jew or a Christian. So, as a man in Islam, I might look at you, man, you my brother, but my scripture, my text is telling me that, hey, even if I hire this nigga, I really ain't gonna trust him. I really ain't gonna fuck with nigga ain't coming over to my house. I might give him a job or something like that. But my text is telling me that I need to treat him a certain way. Do we need to get rid of certain philosophies that hold us back? I remember reading in the Old Testament, you hear about the Moabites. You hear about the Passover, which some consider it to be a celebration of killing African Egyptian, because this is before the Arab invasion. So killing mostly Nubian or present-day Sudanese, killing these black people. Do we need to get rid of these? Because I think that some of us hold on to them, and some of us can look at the story and get something from the story and then apply it to what we're doing now. But some of us are going to read that I should not abhor a Jew or a Christian. So nigga, I don't care how much I kind of like you. Or how much we have the same viewpoints. My scripture says I can't fuck with you to a certain level. Do we need to get rid of and put it on the backbone? Will I? And damn, I know shit. I can't even be quick-winded. Is our spirituality ahead of
our well-being?
Yes. In some cases.
I mean, you gotta. I mean, set it all to the side. I mean, are we winning as a whole?
Hell no, nigga.
Then that answer itself. Shit. Then that answer itself. Here's the thing: you have to look at what we're doing. Like, is what we're doing working?
Yeah.
If it's not working, are you willing to die on that hill then?
Yeah.
You know, are you? At some point in time, everything changes. Christianity changes.
Yeah.
The book's been changed a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a matter of, you say, do we need to set it down? I mean, do we want to progress? Do you want to get ahead? Because what we've doing now, it hasn't been working.
But it's not working in this context.
I'm gonna have to ask that question to a brother of mine. He comes from a mixed spirituality family. He got one parent is Christian and another parent is Muslim. And his name is actually Quran. So
they came to agreement already.
Yeah. So they.
His daddy is the Muslim.
I believe so. Yeah. I don't want to be wrong, but I believe so.
It's going down and down.
Yeah. So what you saying? So that's an example of it worked.
I mean,
they got family.
Let me ask you this then, okay?
Because they sharing the same blood.
Well, not only that, but in both religions, if the father is the Muslim in both religions, you know, is the woman supposed to be
submissive?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She can still play her submissive role because that crosses between both faiths.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I haven't stepped on my faith by being submissive to this Muslim man.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing my role, but they both cross. A lot of religions, all that shit crosses. Most of it, it's just different names.
Because they're Abrahamic religions.
Right. Same script, different characters.
Mm-hmm. It's Abrahamic religions.
Mm-hmm. Right. But when you get to the point to where your text tells you that this person is not going to be allowed into heaven,
right,
and you're under the assumption, hey, me and my children, we're going to follow this doctrine so we can get to heaven. Now I fuck with you, you black, I like your food, I'll go kick it with you or whatever like that. But in my heart of heart, my scriptures tell me, nigga, you're not making it.
You ain't making it.
Yeah, you're not making it. So that's why I'm asking. So how far along are you willing to run the marathon with a nigga that you don't have any hope of him actually ending up where you ended up?
The big thing with it, none of us know. Ain't nobody been there to come back. You know?
And confirm it. Yeah.
Right. There's no confirmation if his religion or your religion is going to get you to heaven. If you're atheist, you ain't worried about going to heaven at all. Ain't no heaven. It's just black. You know what I mean?
Definitely still.
So how about we focus on what's going on in the now?
It is definitely still a heaven if you're atheist.
I'm just saying.
I just want to make sure that just because I don't think it exists doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying though. But I mean, on his actions and how he's going to act and follow, he's not the atheist. They say a lot of atheists are so far ahead in life. Maybe that's because they're not worried about end game like we are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but then it's just like, but now you talking about what's your soul worth and what's the weight.
Well, no.
What I'm saying is, if there's if you know that we are genetically related, then at some point, even if you're a fucked up person, you're gonna treat me differently on some level because we're if Juneteenth, if we're all out there at the park and it's 120 black people and now we know all of us is related somehow. Like, this might be my 32nd cousin over here. And all that is just going to have a different outcome. The nigga that you beefing with, you know what I mean? Yeah, you might still be beefing with him, but you around all your family. You don't want to fuck up the vibe. Right.
So you would marry a Islamic Moor or Muslim Moor?
I wouldn't personally, but if someone that was Hebrew or Christian or whatever married a Islamic Moor, then I wouldn't understand how their spirituality works, but I can understand how the hierarchy of the household works because it's still the same. I can understand how they're rearing their children. I can like their conversations that they're gonna have on where they going on Sundays and Saturdays and stuff. They probably got to work that on a
personally
base-to-base
for you
level.
though. Well, both you follow the Hebrew Israelite tradition?
No, I mean I know it's more so me finding out and being aware of where I am and like who I am.
Okay.
But I'm so deeply rooted. It's been inspired to me, like it's been put to me to where I used to grow up. Like I grew up Christian, right? I still am Christian, but I grew up real deal believing that Jesus was white. Before I realized and opened the book and used my context clues and like, hold on, how can this North African man be pale? And then I was thinking, I'm like, okay. Then I found out that the letter J wasn't even invented. By that time, I'm like, so what was this man's name? I was like, and I realized it was Yahshua. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I started reading some more and doing some more digging. It's just more so me just coming to the reality of the fact that everything that I thought I knew was false, and the fact that the whole time it was somebody that who looked a whole lot more like me that everybody looked up to.
Mm-hmm. And as a man, could you be with a woman who was an Islamic Moor, that she was black? Say you met her at a Juneteenth event, and y'all hit it off, but you know in her sacred text that she can only really fuck with you to a certain extent.
Nah.
For her to reach salvation. But it's the same salvation that you believe, because you want to reach a salvation too. So it's kind of like you can't just kind of dismiss her belief.
I don't want to deal with the clash in my house. Okay. I don't want to have to come home and you supposed to be my peace, but the whole time we arguing about which book am I supposed to be reading.
Walk together and not be
so you wouldn't have no problem with anybody else doing it, but as personally for you couldn't be with a woman.
Yeah, I'm trying to be more so what I'm
saying. Yeah, because I know like circumstances where it's worked. It works for decades. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where like with the divorce rate the way it is, it still worked for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where there has to be a dynamic there that I wasn't in the relationship to. So for me, I couldn't see how I could make it work because I'm just the person I am. You know what I mean?
Y'all
like it's just
at odds.
No, I don't think we'd be at odds, but it's just I believe Muhammad is a prophet, but I don't subscribe to his teachings the same way that I subscribe to the teachings of the scripture.
And you don't think you could be convinced?
No, I'm convinced of Muhammad. I know he's a real person, and the things in the Quran.
No, I'm saying her trying to convince you. If she was trying to sway you to believe what she believes,
there's a line to where now we're gonna be asking questions, and those questions gonna make you upset. And I respect if that's your conviction, if that's your walk, and I can still love you and all that. But it's gonna be a certain point where if you want me to completely jump in the boat with you, I'm gonna need answers, and you're not gonna like the questions. So it's just like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in both
that type of thing.
And in both religions, I don't see truly how a man strong in his faith. You know what I'm saying? Like being deeply rooted. And because in both religions, the man is supposed to be the spearhead of the household.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the leader in spirituality, in finances, in making sure everything is the way it's supposed to be, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So with me, you know what I'm saying, somebody like if say like I were child Christian, I was somebody that was Muslim, and she got to talk to me, whatever, and some stuff made sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not saying that man would be weaker, but I'm saying at the same time, how true were you to your faith originally? If you're shaking, you know what I'm saying? Like, what were you really holding on to? Was it just a tradition that was passed down to you by your mother and your grandmother? Because that's all you knew, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You didn't,
or was it affirmed?
Yeah.
Was it some solid? Yes. That's why when I started, I said I'm gonna just come from facts. I don't need to mention Bible and all that. If we just go by blood and just the fact that we have a collective history, then all the other bullet points can at least be tapped. Even if at a certain point, your salvation, my salvation gonna be a little different. I can only fuck with you to a certain point. You giving me the job at a business you own is still further than we are right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I'm just looking at the real realities.
Right.
Like we can get into the semantics in a perfect world, how everybody needs to get along and shit. But even if just the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Like information is the power. You know what I'm saying? Even if we have the information where all of us can at least know, even if you still gonna be ratchet, if you at least know, all right, I come from these people and these are my people. And we are a nation of people. Regardless, we might be different, and I still like to shake my ass, and this nigga still gonna sell dope, and this nigga still gonna whatever. We all at least have this collective understanding. We a nation. Yeah. We are not just a color, and just because you're the color, I'm the color, we gotta find some way to identify. No, we share blood. All right, and that's going to subconsciously shift people in their interactions when it comes to integrity, when it comes to business, when it comes to purpose for individuals, when it comes to marriages, when it comes to branding, when it comes to what we even list as culture, who we allow in culture, who we allow as a voice, you know what I'm saying? When we talk about real leadership, who we will put up and host up as leaders, if we have this understanding of, no, you speaking on behalf of not just you, I'm not black, I'm OJ. No, nigga, you don't even get to talk now because we're a nation now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing. I just think once we attribute that, there might be people that have the same blood that might, I believe in this God, or I say his name this way, or I'm from this land. All right, cool, but we're still related and we're still dealing with the same turmoil because all the people that's in the same bloodline, if you look at them, they've all gone through suffer. Like
That's the common
extreme suffrage.
I think that's why we need to establish that nationality ASAP.
Yes.
We're running out of time. What I said earlier, the Indians, but the Native Americans, they did it the best. They said we don't want to ride your bus. We want our own bus companies. We don't want to just come in and feel lucky to be able to sit in this white-owned movie theater. We want our own movie theaters. We have to do the same thing. To be honest with you, I don't ever think it'll be a time to where these Islamic more. I'm just using this as an example. I'm definitely not trying to pick on anybody, but I don't think these Islamic Moors, especially from these people, I talked to some brothers that they trace their lineage back to like the Samaritans, or right around where Carthage. If y'all familiar with Hannibal of Carthage, okay, so they trace their lineage right around in this area. They are never going. They're proud of it. They're never going to say, "I'm from Israel." You know, they're never going to agree that they have the same bloodline.
But they might not.
And you're right. It's some people follow the Yoruba tradition or the Ifa tradition. Then we can go wherever, Ashanti. They're never going to agree where they came from. What we can all agree on is we're here now. We all get treated the same. Because when you get pulled over, the police ain't checking your license. Is this nigga Israelite? Oh man, the fuck is this nigga a damn Moor? Oh, I got something for his ass. You know what I'm saying? They seeing us. They're not coming to us and asking us these questions. I think we have to establish something right now, man. Look, you came from here. I came from here. And most of us don't know where the fuck we came from. You know what I'm saying? But what we have in common right now is that we've been here for over 400 years getting treated this same way. And now we have to expound more we have to be more than just black.
Exactly.
Now we've done settled for that shit.
Exactly. We gotta be more than a color.
We used to be something. We used to actually be something that
we were Negroes.
Yes, and even the thing is, you can go back and look to. You can look back at some old birth certificates and Social Security cards from like the 30s and stuff like that, and it'll actually have Negro. You know what I'm saying on there before they was just calling you black, or before Jesse Jackson told everybody African American. You know what I'm saying? We have to stop just accepting this too. Whatever they put on the paper nowadays, that's what we gonna run with. If they come out 2026, they saying your wide nose ass, nappy head ass, now you're a googly moogly. And so now we gonna all start checking the googly moogly box. Right. Why do we just jump to accept whatever you want to call us? And then in the 50s, if you want to call us this, you a nigger, then we just gonna run for that for 10 years, and then we'll be whatever they was calling us in the 60s or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? We'll move on. We'll accept that. Then we have to establish, okay, this is who we are. And the Native Americans, they actually wrote this down, and they're the only people that came in. They had a constitution, which we are mentioned in the Native Americans and Africans. We are mentioned in the Constitution that the Europeans drawn up, but the Native Americans came with their own constitution and said what they wanted. Us black people, we've never come up with any constitution. First of all, we can't even commune with each other long enough, you know what I'm saying, to get to that point. And when we do, when we have something like Black Wall Street, what they do is that a bunch of us, we say, okay, well, we want to leave the 3 black-owned bus companies that we have here, and we want to go ride the bus with white people. Because if I can hold their hand, and if I can sit next to this white woman, it's gonna make me feel better about myself. Then riding on the bus that's owned by Mr. Johnson, and his family been living here, and they black, and they grow crops, and his cousin work here, and somebody got an auto shopping or whatever like that. I can sit by good old Catherine on that bus. That outweighs us giving our money to our own people. You know what I'm saying? So they come in and they burn down our Black Wall Street. And instead of us saying, we just gonna rebuild this motherfucker, we say, I wanna be socially accepted. paint me a sign that say Black Lives Matter. Can you put that on the street for me? Because that's going to make me feel good. Don't actually give me any money. Don't give me any land, any resources. Please paint more signs for me.
Symbolism.
Yes.
Yeah, symbolism.
Please black out your Instagrams for me. Can we all settle on a day where we all just black out our screens and be black?
Because it's just a color. If
Exactly.
you only are attributed to a color, then it don't take much to appease you.
You can be happy with anything.
It's very easy to pacify, like when it's something hollow. Like, oh, I'm just black. Like when we was at the 1%, when I started talking, I was like, all right, well, we're talking about black economics. So when someone from Africa comes over, they still can take advantage of the tax code and start a business and everything. So I'm talking about them. All right, so not those black people. All right, so are we talking about the black people that come here from Haiti and all of that? Oh no, we're talking about a specific. All right, so we don't have a name for the reparations. You know what I'm saying? Like if we were to say all black people need reparations, it's gonna be so many people that's black now.
Claim that.
Just I'm black. That's all you have
Even
to
when
do.
LGBT go up for stuff they won't pass, you know exactly who wants those, whatever they try to get passed.
Yeah.
It's the LGBT community.
Yes.
When they passed that anti-Asian bill, you didn't have to, guess who, man, who getting it? You knew Wing Chong was in line getting that shit. They had
It didn't matter if he was Korean,
Man, I want it.
You got it.
This nigga called me Jet Li on the bus. I've been discriminated against. I got a problem with this. And you know what? The other Asians, they're sitting over there. You're not about to jump on his ass. You're not about to jump on our Asian friend ass. I don't know this nigga from shit. I'm from Shanghai. He from somewhere. I don't even know a lot of Asian countries. This is great.
Hong Kong.
But yeah, he from Hong Kong. But you know what? He looks like me. We have more in common than we have
There's not that
differences.
many of us over here, so I gotta stick up for them.
Yep, you're not about to mistreat him.
We really obliterated a lot of that for ourselves by listening to these bullshit street codes. You know what I mean? The bullshit street codes is what fucked a lot of that up for us. You know what I mean? You know, I know I'm not talking about go out and snitch, but you know, no snitching, so okay. You know, this nigga done killed my brother, and I'm not looking for justice now. I'm just in the, you know.
Keep the serial killer on the street.
Right.
So I gotta give respect by the 19-year-olds on the block.
Right. And even beyond that street code, you know, part of street code is stay in your lane, mind your own fucking business. So now we got people, shit going on right in our community where, you know, maybe they jumping in this black girl, but, you know, street code done taught me, keep walking.
Ain't my business.
Ain't my business. Let her ass get whooped.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So
That's what we face with a lot.
that go back to leadership, y'all. Who we listening to? So that's just my thoughts.
I feel like with the black thing going, if we stay there, we gonna stay where we are,
Right.
because we're the only people who are of color, and
So much you can do for black.
yeah, exactly. And like, so we have to find a common place that where we can meet outside, because we're such a spiritual people. So you have to get outside of spirituality, and we have to find that common place where we all share something that we can take to a court, that we can stand on. You know what I'm saying? That'd be that's what all it is. Like, yes, I believe in God and I follow God and I'm a Hebrew Israelite and I can talk all of that, but we talking in realities of, all right, food shortages coming, the unemployment, they're talking about recession for the next 2 years, we need reparations, we got an election coming up and all this type of stuff. If we had an identity that we could lock onto and then be like, we're not doing shit.
Yeah, right.
No, we're here for the black vote. Not here. It's not here. You know what I'm saying? It's not here. It's wrong code. You know what I'm saying? Like they knocking on the door. Black, wrong. No, we switched that code.
Wrong
Yeah.
word.
You know what I'm saying? We
Wrong
switched
word.
it. Exactly. Like we got to get on a place to where we can unify under something that truly is specifically us. Because just saying for the culture, everybody can get in on it. Like you said, all respect to Eminem, but we still don't want. He's not the hip hop historian for a documentary, but he's still a part of the culture.
Yeah.
So then
He just can't regulate it.
Exactly, but we can't get reparations for a culture.
Is
You know what I'm saying? Like we need an identifier, because it's like, oh, okay, inflation coming, and y'all sending money off to Ukraine all the time. All right, bet. Election year coming around, pay me. No, I don't want to hear none of the other shit. Pay me. When we're gonna do something about police brutality. Missed me, nigga. George Floyd was 2 years ago. Pay me. We're gonna do something about black businesses. Nah, you missed me, nigga. Pay me. We're gonna do something about the HBCUs. We're gonna education. We're gonna put money behind student loan. Pay me on behalf of this nation, whatever the name is, on behalf of the Hebrew, whatever. Right. Pay me for what you've done to the ancestors that led up to this point. Yeah, you gotta pay me.
Don't
we stand under this banner.
Hot sauce in your bag.
Yeah,
all niggas should have been flipping tables over wherever they was at. A nigga should have found a table to flip over. I'm
gonna tell you this, man. And when Biden said, "If you're not black if you don't vote for me."
You didn't see that when Hillary on the Black Breakfast Club?
Both of them was on the Breakfast Club when they said that.
Yes, yes, man.
Both.
Like, God.
But if they don't know the code, or if they don't know what the getting on code. Yeah. If you don't know the code, like, all right, like in Hebrew, the same brother is Ak. Mm-hmm. But also in Islam, it's Ak. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's Aki, that type of shit. So just that alone, because they come from the same dialect. So outside, when y'all pulled up and I was like, what's up, young black kings? Mm-hmm. Just even though it was in English, it was a code where you understood, he's from a different type of mindset. Yep. He sees the So if we do a goddamn DNA search for everybody, and now we all still got our own beliefs, but hey, all right. I don't
my sons here.
I don't know if he say Yahweh, I don't know if he say Allah, I don't know what he say, but it's weird. I know that he on code with we are in this together. We genetically in this together. Yeah. We'll figure out the semantics of individual, how you do your household in person, but hey, man, how I get to the oh, bro, it's right over there. Appreciate it, man. Good. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Where we on point. We could be in a room filled of niggas that don't look like us, and they just gotta be white. Yeah. We get uncomfortable in anything that just ain't us. So if you see across the room, hey, how long this gonna go for? Oh, hey, bro, it's go till 8. But honestly, bro, you might want to go over here to sit down. And I've been here for about a half an hour earlier, and they setting up the Like we just know initially. All right, bet. You know what I'm saying? We need something like that to foster all these things we've been talking about.
It's like on the Wu-Tang saga, when he's trying to get the electricity turned on in the building. He keeps picking up the phone. What does he say to him? Oh, gosh. Anyways, he's looking for somebody in the nation. Mm-hmm. And every time he answers the phone, every time he makes a call, he gives a greeting. Yeah. And if they just say hello, he hangs up. Yeah. and then somebody gave him that response back.
Let me tell you my plight. Yeah. You're gonna feel me. Right. I know that you have concern for who I am just off of you can't see me. You don't know the situation. Right. But the fact I'm calling and approaching you with this. Yeah. But like just that, it's intuitive, right? And we need that. That's the lacking. That's the community missing. Somebody could whoop you before they got to your mama. That missing part. Mm-hmm. That's what's needed. Yeah. We don't need a Quran or a Bible. We can just go to genetics. And where were we right before slavery started? All right, who all got here through slavery? You got to the islands? Your family from the islands? Oh, that's from slavery. You from Brazil, South America? Oh, all right, I know that they dropped them there too. Oh, you from South Carolina? All right, okay. So what were we all doing right before we got here? Where did we come from? Where did they get all these people from that they dropped at the islands in South America and North America? Where all these boats come from? Oh, one spot. Who the fuck were those people? Right. Let's start saying we're those people. So then we can just identify something, take it to the fucking courthouse, and sue somebody. Right. The most American thing. Sue the shit out of you. Right.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I think that a lot of our captives, our oppressors, they were smart in the technique when they first went to the Ashanti people. They didn't ask the Ashanti people to give up any of their own. They only were the people that they were warring with. They didn't even want anybody who they had any type of what do you call it with
on good terms. And
yeah. If they was fucking, they didn't want it because they knew. All right, if we start taking these people who they have at least some type of ties with, eventually they're gonna start coming after our ass. Mm-hmm. Somebody's grandfather's gonna reach out. Hey man, you taking this or whatever? Like we need to come together. So we're just gonna go after their enemies. When they start capturing these people, one thing that they did was they didn't want because it was already rebellion. They didn't want too many niggas from the same place. We're only gonna take a couple of y'all from Angola. We're only gonna take a couple of y'all from Burkina Faso. Okay, we got about 100 of them from here. We got 50 of them here. We have to mix these niggas up because if they get together, which is what we're talking about now, they knew if they can start talking to each other, they speaking the same language, they start talking to each other, they're gonna find the commonality on this damn ship and they gonna overthrow this shit.
What was it? Is that South Carolina, North Carolina, where a bunch of them they came together? They overtook the ship.
Yeah, a bunch of GG ass niggas.
And
them country ass niggas was fighting.
And then they themselves went into suicide. Like now,
and just went out into
It's somewhere in South Carolina, I think.
Some of them walked.
Some just walked out into the water.
Y'all remember that Showtime show?
American Gods.
Yeah, you know what I'm
talking
about.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. They were trying to.
Mr. was on the boat.
Nancy, come on.
Yeah.
I watch that scene about once a month.
I'm
that type of nigga.
Yeah. I watched too.
About once a month, I just watched that get inspired.
You know
nigga in a purple suit saying some real shit.
Yeah.
That nigga was. He was on point.
Yeah, I watched it.
But I don't want to nerd out because I was gonna say he was in another show too.
He got on the chopping block. Yeah, he did so good on that show.
Yeah.
They said we wrote it for you, and you said it too good, nigga. Get the fuck out of here.
Orlando, yeah.
A lot of people don't notice when we had our the slaves that even was stuck on the plantation. A lot of these people that already conquered a lot of these Indian nations, especially from the 5 families. But when they started going down into Florida and Louisiana and stuff like that, where they started fighting back, then they started reaching out to these black people and telling them, man, first of all, these colonists had already, you gotta watch, everybody needs to watch this movie called Goodbye Uncle Tom. But the colonists, these Europeans, they describe how these Native Americans, they're impossible to colonize because they would rather die than just go along with the program. You know what I'm saying? We can get these Africans to go along with the program if we subjugate them to, you know what I'm saying, like the Willie Lynch and shit, like taking the biggest nigga and killing them or making them submit sexually in front of everybody else. But these Native Americans, they won't submit. So the Native Americans, basically they were saying, man, I don't know what y'all black asses is doing. Y'all better come over here and run. If you can make it, nigga, then you can assimilate in this culture. Yeah, we'll keep you, nigga, if you can make it. So what a lot of these Africans started doing was running, leaving out, especially in Georgia, Arkansas, Oklahoma. They started running and was like, man, look, I'm gonna die 2 ways. I'm gonna either die over there free, or they gonna kill my ass on the way over there. They started running into these swamps, mixing with these Geechee ass niggas in South Carolina and upper Florida. They started going to this swamp land because these Europeans had gave this swamp land to these Native Americans. This is at a time when it was like, okay, we done conquered a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all still fighting back, but we know sooner or later y'all gonna have to give in. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go and give y'all a little bit of land. Of course, it's gonna be this bullshit ass land. And nigga, if y'all can figure out what to do with these swamps that we can't do shit with, then whatever y'all can say here. What all these niggas did, they ran into this swamp land, but it was a double-edged sword that the Europeans had really set up for themselves. On one head, they gave these Native Americans all this bullshit ass unwanted land, but when the Africans started fleeing there, they couldn't chase them. We can't use our modern technology, even in our military, to go. And it's a movie, The Free State of Jones. If you watch that with them fighting, it's same deal. They couldn't go off in there to chase these runaway niggas. So it was like, man, we done gave these Indians this land, and y'all goddamn it, motherfuckers done reach out to these niggas. Now y'all pulling niggas over there. Now we didn't give y'all this shit for y'all to do this, and now we can't even go in there and pull these niggas out. Mr. Hutchinson of Knoxville, Tennessee, he done lost 13 goddamn slaves, and 6 of them done made it down to y'all shit. y'all ain't gonna go bring these niggas out to us.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And probably 2 of them done met a woman in there and had kids. Y'all definitely ain't about to extradite these niggas.
Extradite.
We losing niggas to y'all swampy ass freedom Indians. And what happened was they started establishing whole nations built off of that camaraderie. They knew when they went down there and see these high cheekbone red motherfuckers, alright, I know that I didn't come from the same father and mother as you. We have this in common. We both fighting to stay here. We fighting for some for our kids. You know what I'm saying? For a fucking name out here. They wiping your ass out like they wiping us out. And a lot of us assimilated in, and you get these Seminoles that were unrecognizable when a lot of other freed Africans came. They couldn't recognize because our genes are gonna be they stronger than anybody's anyway. You know what I'm saying? You get a couple of generations of a nigga with a Chinese woman or a nigga with a white woman or whatever like that. Then sooner or later it's gonna be nigga. So by the time that a lot of people got to these, we started getting to these different islands and these places. I was in Kissimmee about a year and a half ago. I took my mama and my daughter's mother and my sister out there, my auntie too. Then you get to these places in Florida, and they have a lot of Native American names. It's a lot of African tradition too with hoodoo and it's just a lot of with the Geechee. It's a lot of Catholicism mixed in with Western African traditions and stuff too. Then we have to. This is a long ass, about a 15-minute version of saying this. I wish we could use that same technique as when we run into somebody we not instantly thinking, this nigga from here, he's Ohio nigga. This nigga from Detroit. I know this nigga with the shit. Man, I heard them Alabama niggas, them dirty ass niggas, they always trying to scam or something like that. These motherfuckers encounter a whole different group of people and was able to have, and I know we think we so far advanced and mentally more capable than them, they shut the fuck up and said, nigga, you going through the same thing that I'm going with. I'm gonna fight with you. And over generations, you couldn't even distinguish them from the motherfuckers that had to run over there to get to the damn swamp. But us, it's like, man, hell, you fuck with too many Crip niggas. This nigga, you ain't even really from Nashville. Nigga ain't really from the sea. This nigga from so and I ain't gonna fuck with this nigga. It's like this. We'll find the most crazy bullshit to just say we don't fuck with a nigga and just have a problem with a nigga. But I just wish we would do that more, man. Like I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who you fucking. I don't care what you believe in to a certain extent. It's so much shit that's personal to you and your ideology, your perspective, how you need to be raising your household. Brandon, you need to be raising your household a whole different fucking way than I need to be raising my household. And I can respect you as a black man to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I need to leave you alone when it comes to certain instances and not try to correct you because I feel like you need to be bringing your kids up in a certain light. I feel like I know what's best. You know what I'm saying? We need to get back to shutting the fuck up and just finding commonalities with each other. I like what you're doing. It's some shit I don't agree with, but I like what you're doing. The shit you doing I don't agree with is probably because you know something I don't know. You've been exposed to something I don't fucking know. That's why you doing the shit that you doing. If a nigga was a carbon copy of your ass, then he'd be sitting there dressed like you doing the shit that you, exactly what you doing.
And then niggas have problems with that.
Yeah, exactly. This nigga hating. Me, I see it's a bunch of 2.0s that I see in my hometown and just around. I don't give a fuck if I see a nigga that bites off a little pieces of myself and incorporates it to his lifestyle or whatever. Because first of all, the shit I want to be pushing, be a good father, be for your people. And shit that we have to find commonalities with ourselves. If niggas is latching off that and incorporating that into their jiggy, my nigga do that all day long. I don't got no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with it. Iron, man, iron sharpens iron. But yeah, man, I'm not with that. I'm 32 years old. I don't care if Clarence is butt fucking Malik at the end of the night. I need you to be B1. that's black first. I know we talking about that black term, but I need you to be for our people first. I don't care what you're doing on the side. I can't care no more. At 32, I can't care no more. I can't give a fuck. That shit don't serve me no purpose.
Right. Wasted energy.
It is. It's wasted energy.
For real. And I think going into the future though, us not wasting our energy, like finding your purpose and assuming your purpose, like just not wasting your energy, making sure that what you do is intentional.
Yeah.
What's bruh name? Man, I forget bruh name. I went to school with him. I was talking to him, and he said that like, because I apologized because I took a while to hit him back. He was like, man, don't worry about the apologies because I know that we both grown men and we got adult lives. But just be more intentional. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I understand. He's like, but just I reach out to you with intention, bro. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? I just want to let you know I'm checking on you, making sure you're good, but there's intention and purpose behind me reaching out to you. So I really want to like chop it up with you. All right. And then from there, I was just like, you know what? I'm just more intentional about the things that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Then we can find purpose and we can look past the bullshit because we have intention and let it be pure intention. You know what I mean? Like hidden agendas and side agendas and shit like that and side motives that's gonna fuck up everybody regardless of any color or community or anything. Yep. But if you just more intentional on what you're doing, on what you're doing it for, you know what I mean? Like your intention for being a good dad may not be my intention of being a good dad, but what we both ultimately want is to raise good people. Yeah, so when we in the park, you know what I'm saying, and our kids bump into each other, you know, that moment when you gotta now be friends and shit. Now, hey, this your boy. You know what I'm saying? Man, that shit be so awkward to me. I hate them moments, man. Cause my kids love to make friends, so I'm constantly, this joke, nice. It's not, man. I wish my kids would sit the fuck down. Like, what's up, man? I'm so. We four deep, anyways. Just play together. Like they go out and make friends with the whole park. I know everybody. Sheila, how you doing? But the same way how we come in, if I know that your intent with your boy and my intent with my boy is to just make good people, then we're gonna find a common ground because we have intention and pure intention from a good place. You know, your place and your starting point and your references are gonna be different from mine, but our end place is we're gonna find something in common on that path. You know what I'm saying? While we sitting at the park, like, well, what I really just want for him, man, at the end of the day, we're gonna start nodding our head like, yeah, me too. Yeah. Like, but we gotta have an intention behind it. We just be doing shit aimlessly, and that's me a lot of the time. I like just doing dope ass shit. I like doing random cool shit that I've just never seen before. You know what I mean? I like doing that shit, but now when you take that, because when you get up in age, you realize, all right, there has to be intention. There has to be a purpose behind it. There has to be an outcome. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's real. That's tangible. And we don't have that early on. I don't know when that kicks in. It might be because your frontal lobe is soft or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if it's lack of dads or just maturity, whatever it is. But when you start realizing that there needs to be a full intention to execute, it just changes things. So it's like, do you have to give people time to grow to come to that? Or do you have to adapt the culture to speed up the process? Because we don't have a rites of passage when it comes to boys. Hell, we don't have like in the Jewish community, when you turn 13, you become a man, and there's a whole thing for it. You know what I'm saying? An African tradition, I don't know how often they still do it, but there's a rite of passage. Mandela had to go through a rite of passage.
They run the cows in Kenya.
You know what I'm saying? Like they have to do something, but we don't have that. And trying to institute that right now is just, that's a whole nother process and conversation. But at the very least, if we just expedite the process of doing things intentionally, of like, hey man, why are you doing that? Because kids love to tell you, I don't know. You fucking hate that answer too. But like, they'll love to tell you, I don't know. But if you just instill intention behind it, then that can at least change the dynamic of motivation, of a why. You know what I'm saying? And then at least maybe we can compartmentalize what progress is from there. You know what I'm saying? Just try to work on it. Makes sense. But honestly, I feel like we all just need to get our money together and leave and go to another country and flip that money, pull our resources together, and start a whole conglomerate industry. Just saying. If we really wanted to. All it takes is $2,500 per person. Now, if you also got to put in the $1,200, it's probably gonna take for the plane ticket. So that's about $3,700. So what I'm saying is, tax season, if we all got together before the goddamn stock market burst and China come over here and claim the land, we can dip. But we ain't gotta worry about that. I'm just saying, when they get here, I want y'all to remember, Brandon said we needed a boat.
So look, y'all, we done hit the 2 hour mark. We done hit way over the 2 hour mark.
I was about to ask.
What
time
was
it,
man? We here. It is, bro. We are at 3 hours easy.
Brandon, lead us out on this.
All right. So I want to thank the guests for coming on, for putting all the truth out there, for the realities, for your thoughts, for everything, man. I think this was a great wrap to our culture series. We're talking about family, talking about relationships, talking about our art and our culture and our influence and our music. I think we touched on a lot of that, all of that, and more. And I just appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for making the journey, getting here.
Oh yeah, bro.
I really thank y'all, man. For the viewers, this was a long one, but it was a good one, and you're welcome.
We went through everything. We got hacked in the middle of our broadcast.
Yes.
We got hacked, yes.
That's how you know niggas was talking about something.
What are they? Yeah. They tried to shut us up.
You start talking about white people buying up rental property, and it was like, oh yeah, this over.
Everybody go laptop.
White people in rental property. No.
You can't do that.
Hell no. Talking about black issues.
This nigga's telling the code.
But yo, it's been a great month. Tomorrow is the 4th of July, so I hope everybody that celebrates 4th of July enjoys your time, enjoy your day off, spend time with your kids, all of that good shit. Anything that is coming up we need to mention?
Next week we're doing a Survivor Story. Jana Menza-Smith. She's going to talk about her encounter with drugs and stuff like that, and her recovery and stuff like that. So,
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So make sure y'all tune in for a new installment of the Survivor Stories. That's next Sunday. And we got another food review coming soon, so y'all make sure you stay tuned in on that one too. Like, share, subscribe, all the things people say right now in the video. Stay blessed. Don't stress. Life is just a test. WhoDat?
All right.